guy.
Try the turkey, bacon, and avocado. Fresh, craveable, and loaded with flavor. Order now at portofsubs.com.
Slice fresh sandwiches, Port of Subs.
Drive Home with Cofield and Company. Weekday afternoons at 3 on ESPN Las Vegas. 1100 AM and 100.9 FM. KWWN Las Vegas. Live from the Findlay Toyota Studios, it's Cofield and Company on ESPN Las Vegas.
All right, here we go. Cofield and Company here on this Thursday. The hits keep coming. NBA Finals Game 1 last night. We'll break that down a little later this hour. We got VGK Game number 2 in the Stanley Cup Final, as every day, as Jeff is finding out from at least watching some of the videos, he'll hear it more today. I'm not a fan of Raleigh. For some reason, some of the hockey fans in Raleigh tagged me with a radio host in Charlotte. I wasn't talking about Charlotte. I understand that it's the Carolina Hurricanes, but I was talking about Raleigh and their stupid attempts to bust our chops. And I keep saying that I don't want to punch down because it's beneath us to try to insult them back. But let's see what they come up with tonight. The other night they had the stupid no means no chant, and then that hackneyed map of North America where we're the only, in the little corner of Nevada, and the rest of the country just hates us. So if you want to hear the game, it's over on Fox Sports Las Vegas, a little after 5 o'clock, but coverage starts at 4 o'clock on 1340 and 94.7 FM. Ryan Wallace will be leading the way, and then obviously Duva and Lawless on the call of the game. And we're headed towards baseball after 5 o'clock. We'll tell you about the details on that one. And, of course, Aviators game over on Raider Nation Radio 920. On Thursdays, we have Brandy Flores, who joins us in studio. She's the LV Sports Network reporter and hosting with us here on Thursdays. What's going on?
Well, nothing much. A lot of Raiders this week.
Yes.
So that's pretty much what I've been focused on. And then, of course, VGK. It's been very interesting to see the internet back and forth, I will say, between Steve and the fans of Carolina, because at this point, I don't know if they're Raleigh. I don't know if they're Charlotte, but they're all against you.
There's a lot of Charlotte. That's fine. You know what? This is a different feeling sort of series than the last 2 Stanley Cups, because the first time around it was upset special. Everyone was kind of shocked.
Oh, yeah.
And even in 2023, I don't think there was as much of a dislike of VGK, but a lot of things have happened with the Vegas Golden Knights to make folks hate us. And that's fine. As I said the other day, if you hate Vegas, then you hate America, because we are America. We represent everything about America. So for all of you who are watching, whenever you're watching, you hate America. They'll just come to grips on that. You can root for Raleigh. You can get mad at us. You can get mad at how VGK puts its team together and how it treats coaches and Mitch Marner. And believe me, we'll get to Marner, because that's another one. Raleigh's one thing. Toronto, those dirtbags, they just won't freaking stop. But let's set up the game tonight. Well, they're mad at Mitch Marner. Let's set up the game tonight. This is a really hard spot. Up 1-0. Carolina does not lose back-to-back games, and I mean, they came out last game hot as a pistol, taking a 2-0 lead. So the atmosphere there is going to be really frenzied.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think, to your point, them never losing back-to-back games, well, for the Golden Knights, they also have really upset some people, especially in the last series against Colorado. Everybody had Colorado pick. No one expected VGK to come in and sweep, nonetheless. So I think it's going to be very, very intense at the Lenovo Center, and I'm very excited to see what that kind of looks like, what's going to listen like. And I do think the VGK, it's really hard to count them out. It's like, when are they going to lose? Game 2 seems like the likely scenario. However, I mean, they came down as you mentioned, they came out hot as a pistol. VGK unfazed somehow to come back, take the lead, back and forth. That was such an amazing hockey game.
It's all going to come down to goaltending for Carolina, because Anderson was awesome the first 2 rounds. Again, granted, the opponents the first 2 rounds, Ottawa, not very good. Philadelphia had an amazing run to get to that point, but completely ran out of steam. He was not good in the Montreal series. They just, again, another team that ran out of gas in the Canadiens, who needed 7 to beat Tampa and then 7 to beat Buffalo. They just ran out of gas after beating Carolina in game 1 in overtime in Raleigh. And Anderson, I didn't think either goalie played particularly well on Tuesday night. I thought that was the worst game Hart has played since the first round. But you know what? It's something about taking advantage of your opportunities. And this Vegas team, especially in the Colorado series and in game one, when they were afforded an opportunity, they took advantage of it. And it's funny that in a controversial icing call, we've already seen it once in this postseason. We saw it in Anaheim work in Vegas's favor, worked against them in game one on Tuesday night. What did Vegas do? They scored a goal very quickly afterwards. So there's something to be said about the mental toughness of this Golden Knight team that has just been taken to a different level in this postseason.
Well, there's something about this group, that's been collected over years here. A lot of them have been through this already. Guys like Marner are new to it in the Stanley Cup final. In a lot of ways, I liken their mentality, Brandy, to the fight game. If you watch enough fights, there are boxers who look like they're going at sort of half speed and sparring. They're calm. They're not freaking out. And I mean, the best guy to point to there was no one more calm in the ring in recent times than Floyd Mayweather. Mm-hmm. And he'd, dip, dart, dodge, and whatever else he did, right? He's doing a shoulder roll. I was trying to do dodgeball in there, but he could frustrate the hell out of you. And with VGK, they don't get frustrated. They don't freak out. I think Torts is doing a good job of motivation, but I think he's kind of letting the cat out of the bag. He repeatedly says, like, these guys kind of coach themselves. They just needed a little fire in the belly. But, man, they're steely when they're out there, even when they fall behind.
Yeah, absolutely. And to your point about Floyd, the reason why he was so successful is because he fought his style of boxing, which was mainly defense, and he was confident in that, never strayed from it. And look what happened. Finished his tenure undefeated. Now, with the VGK, to your point with Torts, he just came in and reminded them of who they are and instilled that confidence within them by not overcoaching them, like he said that maybe they do in the NHL, especially in the playoffs in particular. But even guys like Mitch Marner, who this is where his first time being in this scenario, for him to have confidence to not back down and to take advantage of those moments that you were talking about, Jeff, to come up when the team needs him, that is extremely special. This team has gelled together at the perfectly right time. And it's very incredible to watch. And if I was anybody else in the country or the continent, I'd be mad too.
Well, there's a Patriots-like feeling about VGK. Like, you don't like what they do. It's a little, unattractive at times, infuriating at times the way they operate. But they find a way to work with the rules. Maybe they get away with some stuff. Jeff, you've been here, like 6 years now?
2019.
Okay, so where are you on this? The entire continent hates us.
I think it's a lot of jealousy with this hockey team. And I'll just go with people that I worked with in Columbia, Missouri, that were big time Blues fans. When Vegas came into the league and made the Stanley Cup final immediately, it was an outrageous amount of jealousy within the Blues fans, because again, that was a tortured franchise. Of course, they busted through and won their cup in 2019 in pretty miraculous fashion. So it was a little bit different for them. Going into what's going on with this whole Toronto media, very angry at Marner, very angry at everything. The Toronto Maple Leafs are very similar to a team you and I root for, Cofield, and the New York Jets, where it always feels like that whenever there's an opportunity to drag them, people will drag them. A lot of the time it's deserved. Some of the time it's not. I have no idea if this is deserved or not for Toronto. Sometimes guys just need a change of scenery, like Marner has here, and he has been spectacular. And if Vegas wins the cup, he should win the Conn Smythe. But for me, I don't get it. I go back to what you said at the beginning of the show. I'm with you. And this is kind of the thing that's been odd with some small markets. And I think this, keep in mind of who Vegas played in the first two cups. They played a massive market in Washington, D.C. There I go. It's fun. We get to go to Vegas. That's awesome. There's nothing wrong with that. And then you play Florida, which, Miami, despite it being weird that Florida likes hockey, it's very similar. There seemed like there was a mutual respect between the two fan bases based off of that.
I get the frustration with Toronto, but you compare them to the Jets. In a lot of ways, they're similar. They can't get out of their own way.
Yeah.
And when the fans attack other people, that is also a reason why players don't want to be there.
Correct.
You haven't won since 1967.
Yeah.
Mitch Marner said, you guys were out of control. You violated my trust. My family was afraid. I had to lean on people for mental health. And then I see Jackie Redmond today talking about Marner, and again, the guy said he was terrorized. He had dark times, and they scoff at it, and they're like, well, I don't understand this. Why wouldn't he just talk about it now?
So here's my theory in the fact.
1 second, Brandy.
I sort of want Vegas to win just so Mitch Marner will end up elaborating on what he meant by those dark times.
Why only if you win? Oh, I'll fill you guys in on my dark times if we win the cup. Oh, but if you lose, then you don't have the audacity to go after your former fan base that supported you making $11 million when you'd never won a playoff series, and you got to play with Austin Matthews for 99.9% of your time there because that's what the both of you wanted. So you were given that, and you were benched for 1 40-second shift one time, and the media lost their and fans lost their for it, and you were never benched again. Like, this guy got everything that he ever wanted. I do understand people showing up at your house, threatening your family. Not cool.
Oh, yeah, just a little part at the end. Oh, yeah, the family being terrorized. Not cool. Do you listen to what she's saying? There's the shots about his salary. There's the shots about everything was handed to you. Markets like that, players don't want to be there. You're anti-player. You come here. Listen, our media is very easy here. It's just different. It's just different. But it's not, it doesn't have to be nasty. And listen, this show is very pro player. I'm consistent across the board. Why hate on the player? Because eventually they can do whatever they want. They can leave. And he forced a trade. And now you're left bitching and moaning all year long about how Mitch Marner won't tell us what the problem was. He's told you.
I can't remember at what point it was James Harden. He had gotten like either they had booted. But remember that viral clip of that reporter on the anchor desk? He's just roasting James Harden about everything. That was kind of the approach she started to take, that she was taking with this. So I see the creative way she was trying to go about it. But here's my theory, and this is what I was going to start with. Toronto has an issue with America. Let's look back when the Dodgers and allegedly the Blue Jays were trying to get Shohei Ohtani. Toronto, which they had no basis for this, was convinced Ohtani was going to Toronto. And then he didn't, obviously. They were upset. To this day, they boo Shohei Ohtani when he goes to Toronto. Makes no sense. Toronto fans have an issue with America, not just the Golden Knights. It just so happens the Golden Knights are in America. To your point, wrap it right around. If you hate Vegas, you hate America. But this is a Toronto.
All fine and good.
Yeah.
Then say it. Don't cloak it with you just hate a player. If you hate us as a country, which they have a good case, the 51st state thing, I'd probably hate the United States as well. But say it. Don't hide behind this bashing of Mitch Marner. Here's a little more Jackie Redmond.
Those instances do not represent the entirety of Leafs fans. And I think it's kind of BS that not just Marner, the media, fans, online hockey people, like pushing this narrative that fans are bad. How is that good for business to on an entire fan base all the time that has done nothing but support the organization? And by the way, indirectly support the rest of the league because it's the most profitable market in the NHL.
The arrogance! What would you people in the NHL be without us here in Toronto? We'd move on. You haven't won in 60 years. What do we care? Actually, I'll take the stance. What would the NHL be without the Vegas Golden Knights, the ultimate bad guy, and the organization that has revolutionized entertainment in the arenas? That is outrageous. The arrogance.
That sounds like, again, I go back to the comp I made earlier in the segment. That sounds like you could have ripped that from a Jet podcast.
Yep. And guess what?
You could have ripped it from that.
You and I are not every Jet fan.
100%.
Too bad.
Yeah.
Too bad. Then I guess we have to go out and fight all of them anytime we see them if they act like animals because we're wrapped into it. That's just the way it goes. Tough luck. Tough luck. Let's get positive here for a second.
Yeah.
Brandy Flores, Jeff Parles, Cofield. We're getting ready for game 2. I'm not going to yell this much all throughout the show. You and I have our feelings about Torts.
Mm-hmm.
He got reprimanded for acting a fool after the Anaheim series. I still didn't understand what he was mad about, why he was angry with the media. He was, kind of being a jerk the whole time by short answering a lot in previous press conferences. I have to say, I like that he's had an attitude change. I like that the 67-year-old Torts, someone got to him and they're like, bro, you've got a dream job here. You're back in the Stanley Cup. You got a chance to win. Listen to a different sounding Torts. All right, quick timeout. We'll come back. We'll set up talking about the Raiders here on this Thursday. Game 2 on the way.
Got something to say? Hit us up on the Bay Law text line, 702-364-1100. Brought to you by Bay Law Injury Attorneys. Winning is no accident.
Traffic is brought to you by Paul Pata Law. It's not about the injury, it's about the recovery.
Accident, Paradise Airport connector that joins southbound at DI, also Spring Mountain Road at Durango, and a stall at the I-11 southbound at Flamingo Road. Overnight lows tonight in the 70s.
Traffic was brought to you by Paul Pata Law, your personal recovery attorneys.
Are you facing criminal charges? Do you need representation for a DUI, a domestic violence charge, record sealing, or any other criminal defense issue? If that's the case, you want the Vegas Lawyers on your side. Check out the Vegas Lawyers at thevegaslawyers.com.
Patty Davidson here from BetMoneyHoney.com. Would you like to become an educated sports fan that also knows how to place a bet? How about a library of how games are played, how to make bets, and hot picks of the day? Join me at BetMoneyHoney.com.
Zips App Auto has expanded into one of the largest independent auto repair shops in the Valley. With 23 bays, over 12,000 square feet, ZipZap is your one-stop shop, offering smog tests, oil changes, detailing, bodywork, and engine and transmission rebuilding. Plus, ZipZap provides free towing and diagnostics with qualifying repairs. No appointment necessary. ZipZap Auto on Cheyenne and North Durango Drive, and online at zipzapauto.com.
Hey, Aviators fans! The Reno Aces, affiliate of the Arizona Diamondbacks, are here this week, and they've put their cards on the table. But your Aviators have a winning hand. Come make it a full house. Here's the schedule. Thursday is Pride Night at the ballpark with $2 beers. Friday is Toy Story Night with a huge post-game fireworks show. Saturday, the fun continues with the Aviator Steel Tumbler giveaway. And Sunday is Family Day, and kids can run the bases. Game time noon. There's free parking and great food. Aviators Baseball. Life's just better at Las Vegas Ballpark.
Okay, class, let's begin.
Psst, love your boots. I just sold a pair like that on eBay.
Oh, really? Yeah,
it took like 2 seconds to list and they sold almost immediately. I've been selling everything lately. Some chunky boots, a faux fur coat I never wore, and a vintage chair that was more of an expensive clothing rack.
You know, I actually bought these on eBay. Wait, are you Kitty Sell Stuff from Brooklyn?
Okay, quiet, please.
Find what you love, sell what you don't. eBay, things people love.
Yep, he's planning another project. So, this Father's Day at Lowe's, tap into free gifts for Dad. Get a free Select Craftsman power tool when you buy a Craftsman V20 charger with 2 amp-hour and 4 amp-hour batteries. Plus, get a free DeWalt power tool when you buy a Select 20-volt Max XR 4 amp-hour battery kit. Dad knows our best lineup is here at Lowe's. Valid through 7/14 while supplies last. Selection varies by location.
Nick here with Stefano's Greek and Mediterranean Grill. Summerlin, it's official. Stefano's is now open on Lake Mead and Buffalo. Come enjoy our beautiful dining room designed for family meals, quick lunches, and everything in between. Or swing by for fast, easy takeout with all your favorites. Gyros, bowls, shawarmas, kebabs, and our famous baklava. Our salad dressings and marinades are made with no seed oils. And our must-try fries are cooked in 100% avocado oil. The new Stefano's in Summerlin is now open. Come taste what everyone's talking about. Stefano's, real food, real fast, real healthy.
Hey, babe, where are you going?
Fantastic indoor swap meet.
The swap meet? I love Fantastic. Can I come along?
Sure, if you bring your wallet.
What are we shopping for?
Everything. They've got everything, and it's a lot more fun than shopping online.
Okay, let's spend the afternoon. It's just over on Decatur and Okie.
You know, Fantastic's open every Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, 10 to 6. And like they say, it's fantastic.
And like they say, we've got it.
There are 6 things that must be exactly perfect for your air conditioner to use less energy and last longer. If even one isn't perfect, your system works harder and wears out quicker. For just $129, Gettle will give your system a rejuvenation. We'll test and adjust all 6 things and clean the outdoor coils the right way, not the easy way. Those coils get hot, so that plaque is baked on. A garden hose just won't do it. No one knows air conditioners like Gettle. Goettl will keep you cool, but it's hard to spell.
I'm attorney Paul Powell. A lot of lawyers promise a lot of things. No fee unless we win. The consults are free. Of course they offer that stuff. All lawyers do that. But will they promise not to take more money than you at the end of your case? No. When you call me, that answer's yes. I'll never take more money than you, and I put it in writing.
Call 728-5500 or go to paulpowell.com.
I really can help.
Paul Powell. More lawyer, less fee.
Some restrictions apply.
Sign up today for a new William Hill Nevada mobile sports account, and you can earn up to a $250 bonus bet after placing your first qualifying wager. The William Hill Nevada mobile sports app allows you to bet on the go from any iPhone, iPad, or Android device from anywhere in Nevada. Sign up today and you will never miss another bet. With the largest wagering menu, the mobile sports app features same-game parlays, early cash out, and live in-play wagering on all major sports. For more information, official rules, and to see participating sign-up locations, visit williamhill.us. Must be 21. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. This sports update is brought to you by Dollar Loan Center. Get up to $5,000 in minutes at Dollar Loan Center. Free to apply, and new customers enjoy 1 week of free interest on their first loan. Visit don'tbebroke.com.
Raiders Max Crosby talking about the experience level on the team this year.
I think we have a really good group of older guys and a mixture of young guys and vets. And anytime you can get the guys that have done it and have been in the fire to help the young guys, I think that's extremely valuable.
It's Cofield and Company on ESPN Las Vegas.
You can watch us right now on YouTube and Twitter and Facebook. Just look up ESPN Las Vegas or Steve Cofield. Getting some reaction on our stream as one person was saying not only did Mitch Marner get mistreated, but he had his Range Rover stolen. We got the skinny on. Well, the skinny on that story was it was random. It wasn't a targeted robbery by a fan. Actually, as Jeff was saying, we're talking about the hatred of Mitch Marner. Yeah, we're still talking about this because we've got media people making comments about Marner. I guess don't believe Mitch Marner in saying that he had some mental health issues dealing with the Toronto crowd. But yeah, the Range Rover thing was sort of the cherry on top, but it was random. So you can comment. That's one of the cool things. There's feedback up there on our web stream. Brandy Flores in studio with Jeff Parles and Cofield. We're starting off here on this Thursday, getting ready for Game 2 of the Stanley Cup Final. Because we were throwing to Tortorella comments, because I just wanted to get you guys on Tortorella and sort of his attitude shift. At least he's being kind of pleasant and seems to be appreciating the moment. In talking about getting to the Stanley Cup Final, he said, it's hard. One of the hardest things to do to get back. Yeah, this is a tough league just to get in. It's a tough league, especially where it's gone to this point with so much parity. Sure, you think about that, and some coaches, some great players, and some of the best coaches in our game haven't gotten there. I'm glad to see that he's lightened up a little bit, and really, this is for everyone. Believe me, I need it. Enjoy the moment, especially when you get to this. I mean, he's 67 years old. They pulled him out of his freaking, he's not in a retirement home, but he talked about being at home, and he's like, Kelly McCrimmon, like, I don't even really know this guy. Now he's coaching the Stanley Cup Final. So I'm glad to see that his attitude has shifted.
At some point, everyone mellows, right? At some point, not, but most people.
But you and I, when that was the choice, Cassidy out, Torts in, we're like, what is this?
Well, you liked it a lot more than I did. I thought it reeked of desperation at the time. It's like, this is a sinking ship. Things are not, there's too much talent for this team to have been as average as it was for the majority and below average for a good chunk of the year. But he has pushed every right button, and it started with getting the right guy between the pipes, because Carter Hart, he has been, for the most part, absolutely phenomenal since Tortorella took over. And it's also, the attitude's also kind of changed since that idiocy after the end of the Ducks game. And I would imagine everyone in the organization is like, well, we just cost ourselves a second round pick over nonsense, which, for lack of a better word,
that's an awakening. Every once in a while, we all screw up. Well, in my case, I'm a hothead. So it's like, hey, you know what? Sometimes you got to step back, have someone talk to you and go, all right. And in this case, the league had to come down with some punishment. All right, let's get to my favorite guy in town, Max Crosby. So he was available yesterday. Mm-hmm. Seemed like it was a nice spirited get together. It's a good way to put a press conference, right? Last couple of days, there's been good access to a bunch of different Raiders folks. Let's listen to Max here, just talking about his mood right now that he's back and he's healthier.
For a reason. How excited are you to be a part of this group heading into this year with all the new pieces?
Yeah, I'm fired up. Everyone knows my love and appreciation for this organization. That never changed, from day one. That's part of the business. There's a lot of other things that, don't need to be discussed, but ultimately I'm exactly where I want to be. I'm excited and
okay.
So that was my voice. I asked that question yesterday to Max, and he was, as he kind of went on for almost like a good 2 minutes about how excited he is to be a part of this group. And it seems like everything's changing. Every time I've asked any of the players we've talked to who have been here last year and years past, what is the difference, if there is any, between last year, this year, what have you? And they say in the building, that there is just one unity of one goal, which apparently has not been there before. This is my first year covering this team and kind of seeing this up close. But they've kind of echoed that same sentiment over and over again. And for Max, of course, no trade to Baltimore that happened. He is right. Everything does happen for a reason, whether or not he did request that trade, whether or not the Raiders are still going to possibly deal him now or later on in the future. I do think that Max Crosby will get traded midway through the season, but I will say it is good for him to kind of start here, because unfortunately for Max, if he really does want to get traded or to try to move on somewhere else to win a Super Bowl this year, he has to prove himself during the season, because there is a lot of questions about his knee and he's not practicing yet.
We have a extremely smart and great leader of men in Clint Kubiak, coaching staff that is very detailed, and they're very intentional with everything that we're trying to accomplish. So we're not just going out there checking boxes. We're trying to get things done the right way and establish a foundation so that when the season comes, we're not out there making it up. It's just we go out and play football, and we have a plan, and this is how we need to execute. So.
And this might be the reason why he's most happy, because his D-line coach, Rob Leonard, got boosted up to DC. Listen to him talk about Leonard.
Robbie stepping into a D coordinator job is really awesome. I've been able to see him and work with him, as my D-line coach for years. And now that he's able, to get the D coordinator job, he earned that. And, I think he's doing a really good job, and he just brings juice every day. So when you have a lot of young energy in the building, and, I'm 28 years old, and I feel like, the old man in the room now. So it's honestly, it's crazy. But at the same time, I think, everybody's doing their part.
Okay. Now, he won't say it, but maybe he wasn't happy with Patrick Graham, but he sounds happy with Rob Leonard.
And not only that, they brought back Travis Smith, who's a defensive line coach now, and he was with the Raiders previously on staff, helped recruit Max Crosby. He said that he actually was the only guy at Max Crosby's pro day. And so being with him, Travis Smith, when I asked him about, being reunited with Max, he said, actually him coming to the Raiders, that was a big reason. So I think Max is very comfortable. Obviously, they have Kwity Paye on the line as well, who they got from the Colts during the offseason. So there's no reason for Max not to stay, but for the terms of rebuilding, which is what they're doing, it would make sense to trade away your player where you can get the most assets.
Well, I know you and JVT talked about this at length earlier this week, where that Myles Garrett trade, I think, is actually the best thing that could have happened to the Raiders. And it's also the best thing that could have happened to Max too, because what you said, Brandy, where if he goes out, proves he's healthy enough and plays well the first, month, 6 weeks, and the Raiders are 2-4 or 1-5, and it's the season's turning into a rebuilding year like we think it's most likely going to be, there's going to be someone out there that is going to be willing to give the Raiders a big offer. Now, look, Max Crosby's not Myles Garrett. I get that. He's not Micah Parsons, who was traded last offseason. I get that. But someone could give them something similar enough to what Baltimore was going to give them. And also, too, and Cofield, we talked about this a ton down the stretch last year, especially after Crosby's ridiculous Instagram post after he was ruled out for the rest of the year.
Insubordination.
His behavior has to be on point. And he's saying all the right things. There hasn't been anything crazy from his podcast of late. And I think that all goes into, all right, I'm going to be a better teammate. I'm going to be the best Raider I can be. And whether I'm a Raider moving forward or I'm somewhere else, he's going to be the best version of himself on and off the field. And this is at least a good start. He's at least saying all the right things in the media, which is always a good place to start.
And I will say, Max Crosby, every time we've walked out there OTAs, he's the one leading the stretches, and he's with his team as much as he can be until they start actually practicing moving around, and he can't do that. So then he goes to the weight room inside. But by all accounts, we talked to Malcolm Kuntz as well, defensive lineman as well, yesterday, and all the players we talked to, anytime anybody's asked about Max, the assistant coaches as well, and his character and what he brings, the type of leader he is, they all say really positive things. He's a great teammate, loves this organization, wants to push all of us to be better. Really can't wait to be out in the field, which is what he says. He feels like it's insane how he has to just hold himself back physically because he's never been out for this long. But I don't think that they're just saying that just to say that because he's Max Crosby and he's the best player on the team. I do think that they believe that because he has been that type of teammate.
This weekend on ESPN Radio, It's a National League showdown at Wrigley.
Left field, way back there. Gone! Alex Bregman.
One of baseball's great ballparks, two historic teams, and a weekend built for drama.
Gone! Devers deposits one, a 3-run homer. Wow!
The Giants at the Cubs.
On ESPN Las Vegas, 1100 AM and 100.9 FM.
Hey, it's JT. Grimaldi's is hands down my favorite pizza in Vegas. Only at Grimaldi's can you get their famous New York-style coal-fired brick oven pizza. Grimaldi's has 4 locations in the Vegas Valley, or check them out online at Grimaldi'sPizzeria.com.
There's a difference you can feel when you step into the showroom at Finley Honda Henderson. Sure, our cars are beautiful, built to last, and our certified pre-owned inventory is one of the largest in the country. But the difference is our people. From the sales floor to the service department, we're focused on you. Because when you're the center of our attention, everybody wins. It may not be what you're used to, but we think it should be. Welcome to the difference at Finley Honda Henderson in the Valley Auto Mall.
Attorney Matt Hoffman with Battleborn Injury Lawyers. Thanks to platforms like Uber, DoorDash, and Amazon Flex, any car on the road could be an app delivery driver. They're just regular cars with no markings, no logos. And when an app driver causes an accident, their account might get suspended, meaning no income. So they won't admit they were making a delivery, which could leave you fighting over thousands of dollars instead of millions. At Battleborn, we know how to find out if a driver was working as an app delivery driver. If you've been in a crash with any driver, call us at 766-1400.
Beat the heat with some cool cash for betting sports on the William Hill mobile app. With the William Hill Cash Rewards program, you can earn up to $500 in cash. Earn summer rewards points for mobile wagers made until August 31st. Win or lose. You can earn even more rewards points for teasers, parlays, and same-game parlays. Sign up for the William Hill mobile app today and opt in to enroll in summer rewards. To see participating locations, visit williamhill.us. Must be 21. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-522-4700.
Twin Peaks is the best in the game. Here, it's bigger game days and UFC fight nights. I mean, where else can you find a scratch kitchen that always comes in clutch every day from lunch to late night? Only at Twin Peaks, the #1 sports bar.
Now back to Cofield and Company on ESPN Las Vegas.
All right, rolling towards a, we'll say 5:15 puck drop of game number 2. Carolina Hurricanes getting in that rivalry, trying to take shots at Las Vegas. My God, imagine if the Raiders were winning, right? The shots we'd get. And we already know in the AFC West, there's still a healthy dislike. Chargers fans hate the Raiders. Broncos fans hate the Raiders. We know Chiefs fans.
Well, everybody hates everybody in that.
And frankly, they're punching down, but it's just Raiders were so good for so long, and it's such a good rivalry, and the Raider Nation's such a good fan base.
But that's fun. I love it when
We need
teams
this.
hate each other.
Yeah.
Like my favorite division for that is the AFC North. I love how they all hate each other so much. We need more of that in football.
Camp this week and more availability. I have been really surprised how over-the-top enthusiastic the words are from Clint Kubiak and Andrew Janocko, he's the OC, about Fernando Mendoza. And I'm not used to this with coaches. Usually they try to diminish expectations. They've been really complimentary. So I felt like we finally got the real dope from Mike Sullivan, a veteran quarterback coach. Listen to Sullivan talking about Mendoza. And while we've heard about he's just a genius, he's getting in the playbook, there's a reason they brought in Kirk Cousins, and Mike Sullivan lays it out here.
Has a way of finding completions. You know, sometimes the footwork might not be right, or maybe his progression, he didn't start in the right spot, but he's done a good job of keeping his poise, not panicking, and finding an open target. And so we'll continue to work and get him to grow and develop, and pleased with where he's at right now.
Okay, so pleased with where he's at, footwork and progression. Give me cut 2.
It is a long process, and there's no shortcut to it. There's no magic wand where a guy instantly can develop the type of skills necessary to be successful in the offense. You know, particularly you're talking under center type work, or getting into a consistent rhythm and timing with his footwork.
And again, this is why you need to lean on, when you're talking NFL, which is the most covered league, but you need to lean on local reporters who have access to a guy like Mike Sullivan. Those cuts might not have gotten out. Those quotes might not have gotten out. Because I heard 2 Sundays ago, I'm listening to SiriusXM NFL, and Jeff Schwartz, who's a former player, and he pretty much knows what he's talking about. He's like, I don't get Kirk Cousins being in there. I don't get it. Just start this kid. Mike Sullivan said, footwork, progression. He's going to mention taking the snap. He said a long, long process. And this also goes for Raider Nation. These guys are not idiots. There is a reason, Brandy, they brought in Kirk Cousins. They scouted this kid, and they know he has a lot of learning to do.
Yeah, of course. And then to your point, when Mike says it's a long progression, he's got to get the footwork on. Doesn't mean that he doesn't have all that now. It doesn't mean that, when we go watch him in OTAs, he's just out there floundering. That's not the case. When we've seen him, they've actually strategically not let us see a whole lot, putting him on the far side field. We have not witnessed him throw a whole lot of deep passes at all, a lot of quick, short things. But, that's to be expected this early in OTAs. He's still learning, and you could see that. Not just him, though. Aiden O'Connell and Kirk Cousins, they're all learning this playbook together with this new coaching staff. However, but I do think that, to your point, Raider Nation understands, I would hope, and at least the Raiders organization, they understand that with Kirk Cousins, with the way the coaches have come out and talking about how, yes, Fernando Mendoza is great, but Kirk Cousins is going to be the bridge quarterback. He's going to teach. And then not only that, Fernando Mendoza has to earn it, which it's extremely way too early to even think about if he's done that yet.
And I understand why Raider Nation would be like, who cares what Mike Sullivan has to say? I don't know that I trust Kubiak or Janocko, because they've just gone through, I don't want to be too harsh, but through a parade of clowns. I like Pete Carroll a lot. But, some of the OCs they had in here, a lot of Nepo situations. Josh McDaniels is kind of a jackass. Although he's a great offensive coordinator, he's not a good head coach.
Nope.
So they should be a little bit wary of, hey, you know what? Get Mendoza out there. But trust these guys. There's a reason that now Tom Brady, although he made the hire with Carroll, but Brady trusts Kubiak. Kubiak trusts Janocko. They trust Mike Sullivan. There's a process. So at least give him a chance to believe.
Well, in this process, again, we talked about it through the offseason. This coaching process was the best Raider coaching process, regardless if Kubiak ends up being good or not. There were no leaks. We didn't know that, even though we figured it was Kubiak. We didn't know until Kubiak said it himself in media days at the Super Bowl. So it was a professional search. And for this team, if Fernando Mendoza plays in one game this year, other than the fact that you'll lose your bet, which you're going to anyway, you're done even before.
I made a bet that Mendoza as a starter with whatever team he was chosen by. This is before the Raiders were locked in on him. Whatever team he's chosen by, that team, when Mendoza starts, will win over 6.5 games in his starts.
And
I got no shot.
Unless if Cousins gets hurt.
Like
That's
Cousins.
the only way.
I'm not rooting for the guy to go down.
Yeah. So, but this is the right way to do it, because again, this roster is still not ready to win. They're still not there. They're still probably next year at the earliest of being a competitor with a last place schedule. So don't rush them. In theory, you want to do what, again, it's a little bit different because Kansas City was good when they drafted Patrick Mahomes. They won a division that year. But in theory, you want it to be the same sort of deal as it was with Mahomes.
Last thing for Brandy. Brandy Flores is with us. I want to get you on this before we get out of here. Because we got Xavier Pope coming in from Chicago. We all understand what can happen here, right? And what the mission is long-term. Their bye's not till week 13. Through 9 games, if they're 3-6, what do you want?
Here's the thing.
Do they switch?
It's not even about let's switch and see him out there. It's more so about, is he going to be ready? Fernando Mendoza is their future. After year 1, Tom Brady owning the Raiders, it was a massive failure for him. A guy who hates to lose. I'm sure it still wrecks him to this very day. So over Tom Brady's cold, dead body, will we see Mendoza out there before he is ready? Whether that be at that point, whether that be week 1, whether that be after their bye week in week 13, 14. So that is my whole theory on that.
Would you be disappointed, Jeff, if he's not out there week 10 and if they're 3-6?
Well, week 10, they play Seattle. I don't want to see him out there in his first career start unless if there's injury against the Seahawks. So I look, the earliest I would like to see him would be if they're 1-6 and Cousins just is completely washed, maybe against the Jets on November 1st, maybe. But realistically speaking, if you're going to see him at all this year, see him on December 13th, week 14 against the Chargers.
Brandy, tell people what's going on Raider Nation Radio 920 and LB Sports Network.
YouTube. We have all shows uploaded as well onto podcast, so you don't miss a beat. And then, of course, next week is mandatory mini camp, so we'll see who and if Nakobe Dean shows up. I hope he does.
Having Canty and Michelle are unsportsmanlike.
If the Knicks win and he wins Finals MVP, you would have a Mount Rushmore sports figure in New York sports be a fan openly of a rival football team. It doesn't get much worse than the Philadelphia Eagles.
I think that they don't care. They'll take the banner.
I think they'll live. I think they'll be okay.
On ESPN Las Vegas, 1100 AM and 100.9 FM.
We're chatting with our guest, always safety first, 811 Megaphone Man.
Call 811 before you dig.
You never stray from your mission of letting homeowners, landscapers, and excavators know you should always call 811 before you dig.
Call 811.
Call for both small and big jobs. And 2 working days in advance?
811.
Any parting words? And I'm guessing they will be.
Call 811 before you dig.
Brought to you by Southwest Gas.
811.
Some personal injury lawyers talk about less fee, but when you read the fine print, you'll discover they have so many restrictions, it's really an empty promise. At the Richard Harris Law Firm, every client settlement gets our less fee guarantee, which means we'll never take more in fees than our client gets. No restrictions apply. Who you hire matters. The Richard Harris Law Firm, 444-4444.
Vegas, are you ready? Your Las Vegas Rockers are storming back into the Orleans Arena this Saturday night for a family-friendly experience filled with high fives and a great time. Watch the Rockers take on the Pennsylvania Benjamins in a night of hard hits, high-flying touchdowns, and non-stop arena football mayhem. The lights will be bright, the crowd will be loud, and the energy will be pure Vegas. All tickets are just $20. Get yours now at LasVegasRockers.com. Bring your friends, bring the family, and bring the noise for Las Vegas Rockers football.
This Father's Day, do more with Dad and spend less with low prices guaranteed at the Home Depot. Get him fired up with a new grill and accessories, like the Next Grill 5-burner for just $299, so you can spend more time together while he becomes the grill master he was always meant to be. Or build memories with savings on top brand power tools so you can tackle projects side by side. Gift more and do more together this Father's Day with help from the Home Depot. Exclusions apply. See HomeDepot.com/price match for details.
Everyone's so friendly here at Centennial Subaru. Can't walk 10 steps without a belly rub. They feed me snacks, and they even feed humans. Only thing bad I can say is they really like those guys on 2 wheels. This is why we bring our humans here. Go north, US 95 and Ann Road. Centennial Subaru, a short drive from everywhere.
Sign up today for a new William Hill Nevada mobile sports account, and you can earn up to a $250 bonus bet after placing your first qualifying wager. The William Hill Nevada mobile sports app allows you to bet on the go from any iPhone, iPad, or Android device from anywhere in Nevada. Sign up today and you will never miss another bet. With the largest wagering menu, the mobile sports app features same-game parlays, early cash out, and live in-play wagering on all major sports. For more information, official rules, and to see participating sign-up locations, visit williamhill.us. Must be 21. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Time for dinner, breakfast, a late night snack? Then Jackson's Bar and Grill is the place to be. Honored for having a top value steak in Las Vegas, Jackson's Bar and Grill at 6020 West Flamingo has a 1-pound ribeye for just $22. Or you can get the garlic marinated bistro filet. Same price, $22. You get veggies and your choice of a side. $22. That's insane. These steaks are awesome. During every hometown hockey game, it's pass the puck. It's your chance to win free play throughout the game. $5 happy hour all day, every day. It's Jackson's Bar and Grill, 6020 West Flamingo. It's Jackson's Bar and Grill on Flamingo and Jones.
1877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Call 877 Cars for Kids to reach a friendly live agent. Donation is super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call us now or go to carsforkids.org.
7 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Did you know you can donate real estate too?
Hey, Las Vegas, are you tired of plumbing prices that break the bank? At 365 Plumbing, we're bringing fair pricing back. Family owned and operated, we treat your home like it's our own. For your everyday plumbing needs, we're here 365 days a year, rain or shine, day or night. Extend the life of your water heater right now. For a limited time, take advantage of our water heater flush special for only $26. Visit us at 365plummingnv.com. 365 Plumbing, because where the water flows, 365 Plumbing goes.
High internet costs? Cell phone bill going up? Streaming services you forgot you had? What if someone fixed that for you? Radiant Star Checking at West Star Credit Union includes bill negotiation experts who can lower your monthly bills and cancel subscriptions you don't need. That alone could cover the $7 monthly benefits fee. Visit weststar.org/RadiantStar to learn more. Radiant Star Checking has a $7 monthly benefits fee. Activation required. Terms and conditions apply. Share savings with a minimum balance and membership eligibility is required to become a member. Insured by NCUA.
I'm attorney Paul Powell. If you've been in an accident, who do you call? The funny lawyer? The angry, aggressive lawyer? The lawyer that your mom's brother's friend's cousin recommends. No, call me instead. I'm the guy the insurance companies don't want you to call. Really, they really don't. I can help you, and I won't take more money than you at the end of your case. Check it out.
If you're tired of greedy lawyers, call 728-5500 or go to paulpowell.com.
I really can help.
Paul Powell. More lawyer, less fee.
Some restrictions apply.
It's Cofield and Company on ESPN Las Vegas.
Busy show today. We're headed towards another game of the Stanley Cup Final. Our Vegas Golden Knights on the road in Raleigh. Ugh. The worst. Not the worst. But moving up my list, there's about 17 cities I rip on and can't stand. So don't feel special, Raleigh, because I've turned my ire and attention your way. I love Chicago. Xavier Pope is a guy we have on the show every Thursday. We got a lot to get into. We haven't really had a chance to talk about Game 1 in the NBA Finals. EP, what's up, buddy?
Pretty good. What's going on, Steve?
A lot, man. We're fired up.
Wait, are you Charles Barkley in Raleigh right now?
Well, here's the thing. I've kind of been that way with like I said, about 17 cities, but I am Charles Barkleying Raleigh a little bit. But it's nothing personal. Like I'm not going off on their women or that they're fat asses or anything like that. It's just they tried to come at Vegas, and it was really childish the other day. And I told Las Vegas, I was like, don't punch down. This is it's a hockey market that probably doesn't deserve a team. Not us, of course. We're veteran hockey fans. But let's not punch down. Let's talk about that game, the Knicks and San Antonio, because I think San Antonio is going to win the series. But man, I'm up against it a little bit here. Last night, when it came down to it, the Knicks just got more from their great players than, especially in the last 5 minutes, the Spurs did.
But you see that all entire playoffs, though, Steve. They've had their guys, Cat, Brunson, really step up during clutch time of those games. They've been the aggressive. They've been able to get points on the break. Been able to get teams to move a little faster than they'd like. And that's what's the Knicks' key to success is the timely threes. They have a guy who can get into the paint, get guys open, space out the defense. That's what the Knicks have been doing all playoffs, Steve. And unfortunately, in this early part of the series, you've seen, you see Wemby, staying out deep. I mean, early he was shooting horribly from the field and doesn't go and just take advantage of his size and defense. Now, he seems to have done this over the course of the playoffs. Has an amazing game, then follows it up with a stinker. I mean, in his standards, because he wound up scoring a little bit more late, but having these really monster games back to back. So I don't think there'll be a repeat of the first game. I think he's going to be more aggressive early than he was in game one. But I don't necessarily agree with you, Steve. I think the Knicks, man, people have been counting them out all playoffs. They have an excellent chance of their team chemistry. Amount of time those guys have been together. They got a father-son coach duo in terms on the court, and Rick and Jalen Brunson. That's in New York, fired up city behind them. When they get back to New York, man, it's going to be tough to win some games in Madison Square Garden.
EP, just to piggyback on the Brunson stuff for a second, and I know, especially since you're in Chicago, if I bring up Michael Jordan's name, some people will get very angry with any sort of comparison. But Jalen Brunson is averaging 8.2 points per game in the fourth quarter and overtime in the playoffs since joining the Knicks. The only person in the play-by-play era with a larger average is Michael Jordan at 9.3. So
yeah, I think it's better. The statistics sound like MJ, but I think the play and the comparison is probably D Wade in the 2006 NBA Finals in terms of that, being a smaller guy who's able to get into the paint and is super clutch down the stretch in games. Jalen Brunson has done it all year, though. He's been clutch in the fourth quarter. He's been money. He's been able to get impossible shots off to be able to, and guess what? The guy's not flopping. It's good to see if NBA Finals without flopping in it.
Xavier Pope is up on ESPN Las Vegas. All right, let's get to Wemby because he's the one who's got all this on his shoulders, even at 22 years old, but he's a giant. He's a unicorn. I did not like how he played last night. Way too much on the perimeter, taking Cat out to the perimeter. I think that was really dumb game plan.
Here's the thing. Cat is the perimeter guy. He's not – yes, he can block some shots. He had a great block shot last night. But – that's the guy you want to punish in the paint. That's the guy you want to get into foul trouble because Cat has had foul trouble in his career as a player. And so he will make, he kind of awkward in how he moves. This is the guy he can get into foul trouble and get himself the opportunity to dominate in the paint even more, Steve. So I totally agree with you.
All right. Well, people are looking for some to dislike Wemby because, again, he's got it on his shoulders. He could be the next star. And we just, we have to tear these guys down. One of the Doc Travis guys wrote today the, quote, new face of the NBA, Wemby, kept his arms crossed during the entire national anthem ahead of the NBA Finals. He pointed out this is a guy who said he was disturbed by illegal immigration, and by immigration, this is Wemby. And this cat on Clay Travis's site also said he is protesting. I'm telling you, he's protesting. So what do you think? Arms crossed during the national anthem. Do we need to hate the Frenchman?
You know what? Outkick the coverage. Fox Sports, no, not Fox Sports, but Fox News Sports. They just love to do, strum on stories about anti-blackness, white identity politics. That's kind of what their shtick is. Bro culture. Guess what? The only people that are talking about it are them. I haven't seen any wider discussion about Wemby and protests in the national anthem. The only thing that people are talking about his arms being crossed is him not crossing into the paint to be able to score. That's it.
Parles Cofield, Xavier Pope is with us here on this Thursday, talking a little NBA Finals, lots of other stories and issues to get to. Jeff, I know you were a little concerned. All of us should be because it's a dangerous situation about the fan.
The EP. First off, it's been a while since we've seen that in an NBA Finals game. But what really, this guy's just running on the court to get a selfie. By the way, the selfie completely chopped off Wemby's head as well. I don't know if you
terrible
saw that.
selfie.
It was as bad.
Possibly 7'5".
Yeah, it just. But EP, it just. I hated it. They banned him from NBA games forever. I think that fan should be banned from every North American sports venue. Period. For being that stupid. In all honesty,
fire him.
I guarantee you guys, when we find out who this guy is, he's some sort of weird influencer.
Oh, I'm sure.
Oh, no.
I could just tell his face running on the court. He came there for the content. He got the content. And oddly enough, he took a selfie, and then there was the branded on and the Spurs jersey that said self on it. So that's what he got. That's what he got in terms of a selfie. But I think, considering how tall Wemby is, I think it's kind of apropos that was what he got as only his chest.
Xavier Pope is with us. Great account up on Threads. Okay. Last thing on the NBA Finals for now. I picked the Spurs because I truly believe they can win. I'm not rooting for the Knicks, and I'll tell you one of the reasons. I'm very much into ownership, and I don't think Jimmy Dolan is a great guy, and I cannot believe that Adam Silver was talking about the battle between the Oakman, Charles Oakley, and Dolan, and that this thing will not end.
I mean, it's reports. The Yahoo Reports reported that Michael Jordan got involved in all of this. Adam Silver got involved, and it doesn't seem to bridge the gap. And Oak is still banned from MSG. And I guarantee you, we know Oak is a stubborn guy. And you know that Oak is one of Michael Jordan's best friends. And so I think that if you can't get the greatest of all time in the commission of a sport to bridge a gap, I don't know what can, guys. I mean, it's such a silly beef between them. And Oak is he has to go on the road to watch the Knicks play. I think it's a disgrace to his legacy as a Knicks legend and part of that franchise. And a time where they do have a great opportunity to win an NBA championship. It's just so silly, guys.
And I have to point out that the Knicks fans are very lucky right now because they've overcome James Dolan, because this may not go much longer, because at any moment, Dolan may turn off a player or two, and those guys could be gone. He could start a war with one of them, because that's just who he is. All right. Speaking of a little bit controversial, 60 Minutes firing Scott Pelley. I know you have some comments on this up on Threads, and Joe Rogan might be considered to be on 60 Minutes. What do you think?
That's the society that we're living in, where podcast guy had people eating worms, crickets, and inside of a box is now going to potentially lead 60 Minutes instead of experienced and seasoned journalists who hold institutions to power. It's one of the largest number one news program for several generations that we grew up on, understanding that this is where we get to look in institutions of power and seeing them being exposed. And that's something that is probably not going to happen anymore. It's a travesty, but it's par for the course and where the journalism field is right now. It's a sad day.
On the Pelley firing, there's a big argument on this one. Listen, the guy went out publicly and said, hey, the program is an embarrassment. JT the Brick said, you can't talk this way to your boss. You can't, no matter if you're a journalist or not. You have to respect the work environment. He didn't. He lost his freaking mind and at work and got fired for cause. Thoughts?
Good grief. I mean, I think what was said before he said that, though, and it was also reports that, he also said out loud that he was told to embellish or fabricate elements of stories, and then having interviewers select the person that would interviewees or select the person to interview them, like Benjamin Netanyahu picking his interviewer. And so seeing the program, he saw what happened. He called it out to his bosses. And if anything, he's talking about the place that's supposed to be covering stories, then becoming the story. And I think it's important for him in that position at the place called 60 Minutes to be able to call out something 60-minute like that's at 60 Minutes.
Yeah. I mean, I appreciate someone laying their potential job on the line because of what they believe in. And I would much rather have someone talk openly about work rather than, like a lot of people do in all businesses, just bitch about work behind the scenes, rip their bosses, rip their coworkers, and do it on the down low, which in the end isn't really on the down low. What's going on in Chicago, by the way? We're seeing that, and I've only been to the United Center, I think, twice, and it was for some UFC event or events. And I noticed there was a ton of property out there, and the area, I don't know that it was blighted, but it seemed like a waste of space and not really up to times with any kind of arena district. Are they going to do something?
It's the 1901 project, Steve. Around the United Center, there's a bunch of empty lots. Not used during the day, during the week. I live just east, like a couple blocks east of the United Center. So parking, so I get the notices about everything that's happening on the project because I live in the neighborhood adjacent to it, the West Loop, which has become a booming neighborhood, one of the most booming neighborhoods in the country in terms of tourist activity, restaurants, nightlife. It is. I don't have to just walk outside. I can have fun. And so I think with that success of the neighborhood right here, they're just looking to expand the neighborhood to the west, maybe create a new neighborhood. It's going to be extremely successful. There's going to be a 5,000 seat music hall that's going to open first. There's going to be some mixed housing available. Derrick Rose is also has some hand in the project, which is great in terms of creating affordable housing. There's going to be a hotel that's going to be built. So it's going to be, you think about Wrigleyville and how they arrange the neighborhood around that. I think that's what you're going to see probably here at the United Center. And so, yeah, I've seen this neighborhood blossom tremendously over the last 7 years living here. Good. And it's just an extension of it anymore.
Redevelopment's important. EP, we appreciate it. We had a lot to get to today. We'll hit on some of it next week. Have a good weekend.
Love you guys.
There he is. Love you, buddy. Xavier Pope here on this Thursday. We're getting ready for Stanley Cup game number 2. It's over on Fox Sports Radio, Las Vegas, 94.7 FM and 1340 AM. 4 o'clock coverage starting up.
The NBA Finals, Game 1 Wednesday, Game 2 on Friday, and on Monday the 8th, Game 3. Listen in starting at 5:30 on ESPN Radio, 100.9 FM and 1100 AM.
Brought to you by Paul Pata Law. It's not about the injury, it's about the recovery.
Plumbers, HVAC techs, contractors, and DIYers. McFadden-Dale Industrial Hardware has the tools, parts, and supplies to power your next project. Open early and stocked with everything you need. Stop by South Decatur near Russell. McFadden-Dale Industrial Hardware, fast, easy, and built for the pros.
This Lotus Cares message is brought to you by Subaru of Las Vegas. In June, we bring awareness to PTSD. There are currently about 12 million people in the United States with PTSD. Even though treatments work, most people who have PTSD don't get the help they need. Visit ptsd.va.gov for help today. This Lotus Cares message is brought to you by Subaru of Las Vegas. That's easy. That's community. SubaruofLasVegas.com.
Beat the heat with some cool cash for betting sports on the William Hill mobile app. With the William Hill Cash Rewards program, you can earn up to $500 in cash. Earn summer rewards points for mobile wagers made until August 31st. Win or lose. You can earn even more rewards points for teasers, parlays, and same-game parlays. Sign up for the William Hill mobile app today and opt in to enroll in summer rewards. To see participating locations, visit williamhill.us. Must be 21. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-522-4700.
Miss a show? Check out lvsportsnetwork.com for everything ESPN Las Vegas, 1100 AM and 100.9 FM. KWWN Las Vegas. It's Cofield and Company on ESPN Las Vegas and ESPN Reno.
Hour 2, brought to you by Battleborn Injury Lawyers. You heard it. We're on Reno, on here in Vegas. Jeff Parles, Cofield, in the Findlay Toyota Studios with James. Coverage has begun on Fox Sports Radio for Game 2 with RTHG, Ryan the Hockey Guy. 12:30 of the game is where you catch the A's today. Nice series so far.
So far, so
against
good.
the Cubs. We'll get to some A's in the 5 o'clock hour, but it's Big Four time.
Battleborn Injury Lawyers presents the Big Four at 4. Number 4.
All right, let me tighten the belt a little bit. Every day is getting a little tougher there, Jeff. Every day is getting a little bit tougher. We got gas through the roof. Expenses going up all over the place. Have you noticed at grocery stores? Do you have stuff that you've started to not buy because you've seen a jump?
I mean, there's been stuff at our favorite warehouse that we don't buy anymore because
like what are you sacrificing?
Oh, I look. There was a shrimp thing that used to be $14.99. It's now $20.99.
What?
Don't get that anymore. So
there are
a few
no more shrimp for the Parles family.
No, there's a few items that we have changed course on, for better or worse.
Wow, no shrimp.
Nope.
Well, I'm not a shrimp guy, but I'll tell you what I am. I'm a brisket guy.
Yep.
And I almost had a coronary. By the way, I got to mention real quick. I think while I was having a heart attack, reading, like doing the Farley, trying to get the sausage dislodged, apparently there was an earthquake here.
Oh, yeah.
And I had no idea. This is another earthquake here in Las Vegas. I've never felt any of them. Now, you have to understand, I'm a very sturdy figure. Very sturdy. So I don't.
You and I both.
I don't feel things. What? Because I got a text from someone. I'm going to get back to. There's going to be a transition back to the story, but I'm getting texts from people that are like, "Are you okay?" I got one from our buddy Zig, who's over at SiriusXM, who we had on last week, and he's like, "Hey, you okay? 4.1 quake today." And I said, "I didn't feel it at all." He goes, "Well, others around the valley did, including a caller on Mad Dog." And then I just texted back, #fake news, #woke. Can we use woke for anything now? If you feel an earthquake, wimp, you're woke.
No, hey, look.
No, not you, though. You felt it.
It's all over for me. No, we were talking about because in 2019, we had like 3 in a week.
Never felt it.
Where one of them, remember that was Zion Williamson's summer league debut game at the at Thomas and Mack. That game got axed because they were concerned about the scoreboard was still swaying even though it was done. Aces were playing against the Mystics that night, which produced one of my friend's most hilarious gambling pushes of all time. That's a different story for a different time. Where the game could not continue after halftime. And then today, it was right before I was about to get in the car, and I was sitting, we're house sitting for friends this week, and I was in Inspirata and sitting
Well,
on.
that's so far away from
I know,
where I live. I live kind of the middle to the northern part
but
of
the
town.
epicenter of this was right in Red Rock Canyon.
Oh,
and
damn, I should have felt it.
Yeah, you should have felt it where I know you're ours, Cofield. But yeah, it felt like a lot of vibration. Like I never felt like in danger or anything.
feel it.
But just a lot of vibration. And I was thinking about it. I'm like, is that an earthquake? And check decks, and it's like, oh, yep, definitely was an earthquake. So
Well, like I said, I was having some chest pains over the story. Didn't feel the earthquake. Sorry.
It's a
Headline:
shame.
Texas barbecue joints are closing due to skyrocketing beef prices, particularly brisket. Inflation, tariffs, and labor shortages all play a role. My God, they're shutting down Texas barbecue joints. This is the end of this. Is it. I can't do this anymore. Because I'll tell you, and I put out a quick video because I take video of everything and then I never use it, right? Video of a barbecue joint in the Dallas area that I was at that Frisco Bowl with UNLV and Ohio. And yeah, I got a decent plate. It wasn't, I don't know if you watched the video. It wasn't like loaded.
Yeah.
And then I was like, what? It was like I said $45 on social media. It turned out it was $55.28 for that plate. What is it now?
No, that's
$70.
That's insane because it does not look like a big portion.
It was probably a half pound of brisket and a quarter pound of smoked turkey. And then you're right. I just got some sides.
$55 for that's insane.
I don't think if I got a beer, it couldn't have been more than $8.
Now,
but the 55 might be affordable now.
That's crazy. And
we can't have shrimp.
Nope.
I can't have brisket.
Nope.
What are we gonna do?
We're
Both lose more weight?
I was gonna say we're gonna become less sturdy.
I
That's
guess.
really
Maybe that's the reason for the heart attack. It's too much brisket. And by the way, I did not have a heart attack.
I will say, look, I have spent very little time in the state of Texas. I've only been to Houston.
Barbecue's good.
I've only been to Houston. I thought the barbecue was good. Again, granted, I've spent a ton of time in Missouri, and Kansas City is as good of a city as I've ever been for barbecue.
But the brisket's the.
I know, and it's the meal. That's the meal ticket. No pun intended.
In
there.
Texas, now we can't afford brisket.
Yeah, that's not good.
Come on, number 3.
Number 3.
What a nightmare. How do you think Colorado football is going to do this year? Are you encouraged by his transfer portal class? Because in a lot of ways, he's kind of given up on high school recruits.
Well, look,
Deion Sanders we're talking about.
He's if Julian Lewis is good, they'll be a bowl team. If he's not, good luck. Because the Big 12, I think, is a lot more deep this year than I think people are giving it credit for going into the year, and it's wide open because Texas Tech lost Sorsby now.
Yeah. So as I mentioned, there's not a lot of freshman recruiting happening now, which there should still be because Colorado needs freshmen to stay in the program for 3 and 4 years. From what we've heard repeatedly, Deion is not really the hardest worker when it comes to recruiting. So if all I've got to do is look at Deion's program, the results, the mass exodus this last offseason, and here's another one. Can you look at a coach's kids and go, yeah, I don't want my kid being raised by that dude or being nurtured by that dude? Shiloh Sanders is in trouble again. This time he's got $152,000 Mercedes-Benz, and there's been multiple efforts to repo the car. What is happening? I mean, in this case of affluenza.
Yeah, that's not good.
Why can't this kid keep his head on straight?
Well, look, that's an expensive car. That's a lot more money than I would even remotely consider.
You know what's great about this is I just saw this whole thing about Rob Gronkowski, who apparently has lots of money because Rob Gronkowski, and he's talked about it, he did again this week. He's like, when I got in the NFL, like I had a money handler. They gave me like $50,000 for the year, and they're like, you got to live on that. Okay? You got to be a normie, right? And $50,000 ain't bad, but you got to be a normie. And he talked about the fact that he never really dipped into any of that. He lived off of additional marketing numbers. And he said, listen, you get food at the facility. I rented a place with a teammate my rookie year for $1,500 a month. I shared a condo, an NFL player shared a condo. And the other thing is, when you go out and you're a Patriot, you get everything free anyway.
Yeah.
So the point is, when you're a Sanders, you don't really like, what are you spending money on that has to be so extravagant? And I understand he's got a big court case against him because he's the one who screwed up the process and whatever, this alleged beatdown of a security guard. So he's already in the soup. then don't get the $150,000 Mercedes.
Yeah, it's pretty simple. At least
I got to lecture people on this.
You shouldn't.
Can you be honest for a
Yeah.
second? I know
Yeah.
you're very honest.
Yeah.
Have you missed multiple car payments? Everyone can miss one.
I have never missed a car payment. Now my car is paid off.
Okay.
And the other car right now is we got a heck of a deal for it. So no, that's one thing I've always been disciplined on.
But times are tough. I was just talking about times
Yeah.
are tough. If you got to skip on something and you got to miss a month, okay. But come on, Shiloh Sanders, are times tough?
Probably not.
And believe me, I'm no whiz. Okay. Auto pay, set it up, bank account, it goes. Repo a Sanders car? Number 2.
Number 2.
While we're at this, another guy who cannot get out of his own way, Brandon Ayuk. Now, he's got his money. Might be fought over, but he got his money. He got his contract. He doesn't have all the money. He was hurt. Then we heard last year in the comeback attempt, wasn't showing up to team-mandated rehab. And now he's one of these guys who's in his car and he's rolling video of him speeding around the facility. And guess what? They came after him a couple months later. He's got some misdemeanor charges for his driving. What are we doing, bro? You still got a whole NFL career ahead of you. And the Niners have openly said, we are moving on. John Lynch, I've never seen a GM do this.
No.
John Lynch said, hey, the best thing is for us to move him somewhere. And he says, we're not getting calls. You're getting speeding tickets because you're posting driving like a lunatic 3 months later because of your social media. I mean, the maturity.
There's a shot he doesn't play in the league again, which is insane because of how good of a player he is. But when you act like this, and especially no remorse for anything as well, man, kind of surprising the Patriots wouldn't even take a look. That's how bad of a situation it's turned into, Cofield.
Well, the driving thing is serious. And I'm not saying I don't drive like a lunatic, but in the NFL,
he's driving 110 miles an hour around the stadium.
We had the example here with Henry Ruggs,
and
Tina Tintor and her dog.
Mm-hmm.
If every NFL player, I mean, let's just listen. I'll be realistic. If you want to drive like a jackass, that's fine. Don't put it on video. Like, how arrogant is that?
Yeah,
it's funny.
This is dumb. This is dumb.
Top story.
Number 1.
Well, I like Trent Williams, but bruh, big fella. Would I do this in front of him? I'd probably get knocked out. He's already, when he smacked Richard Sherman in the face that one time. He started talking about the trip to Australia, Rams and Niners, and the Niners lost a home game there. And the focus was, hey, the trip itself, but he got in a shot here at the Rams.
I mean, it took away a home game, in my opinion. It's probably the only thing. It's probably why we had to go to Australia to play the Rams, to kind of cover up some of the deficiencies when it comes to ticket sales on their end when we go to LA. So I'll just leave it at that. But no, nobody wants to travel 20 hours to play a football game. Like, nobody ever be excited to do that.
And let's get it right. Let me get it right. It took away a Rams home game. So his allegation there is the Niners fans fill up SoFi.
Yeah.
And so they're saving themselves by going on the road. There's one thing in person Trent Williams needs to worry about.
Just himself, right?
No. When he plays the Rams, who do you have to worry about
Oh, now you got to worry about Mr. Garrett.
I wouldn't worry about the trip. Don't look around at the fans because he might blow by you or actually bull rush you. What a freaking matchup that's going to be. Now we get it twice a year with health.
Oh, yeah. Would be. I mean, hopefully Williams can be on the field. I mean, he's had a ton of injury issues the last few years, but when he's healthy, not many guys better than him at that left tackle position.
You haven't been in since the trade happened. What do you think?
I think Cleveland won the trade.
You do?
Yeah. They got such an amazing package back.
I like the Cleveland deal,
Yeah.
but to get a guy like Myles Garrett in his prime, and if it actually coaxes Aaron Donald to come back, holy crap!
I'm not buying that part of it, but I think both teams did outstanding. But versus Younger, he's not as good as Myles Garrett, but he's younger and has potential to be a top 5 pass rusher in this league. You're getting a lot of draft capital if you're Cleveland. You weren't going anywhere anyway this year. It just sets you up perfectly to another way to get up to the number 1 pick and make sure you get Arch Manning if you're Cleveland.
Golden Knights game 2 is coming up. Great place to watch. Cofield and Company's home for the Stanley Cup Finals is Jackson's Bar and Grill, 6020 West Flamingo. Flamingo and Jones. It is the home of the best value steak in Las Vegas. $22 on the steaks. Garlic marinated bistro filet, 1 pound ribeye, $22. Just named by Tasting Table as one of the top 7 steak values under $30 in the entire country. And they've got the full menu. If you're not a steak person, they've got the great bar menu. They've got 24/7 happy hour and great gaming bonuses tonight. So get on out there and watch game number 2.
ZipZap Auto has expanded into one of the largest independent auto repair shops in the Valley. With 23 bays, over 1,000 square feet, ZipZap is your one-stop shop, offering smog tests, oil changes, detailing, body work, and engine and transmission rebuilding. Plus, ZipZap provides free towing and diagnostics with qualifying repairs. No appointment necessary. ZipZap Auto on Cheyenne and North Durango Drive and online at zipzapauto.com.
When someone in our Las Vegas community gets hurt, I take it personally. I know what it feels like to fight for your family, to face medical bills, lost wages, and fear of the unknown. At Gina Carina and Associates, you're not just a
first qualifying wager. The William Hill Nevada mobile sports app allows you to bet on the go from any iPhone, iPad, or Android device from anywhere in Nevada. Sign up today and you will never miss another bet. With the largest wagering menu, the mobile sports app features same-game parlays, early cash out, and live in-play wagering on all major sports. For more information, official rules, and to see participating sign-up locations, visit williamhill.us. Must be 21. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
I'm attorney Paul Powell. A lot of lawyers promise a lot of things. No fee unless we win. The consults are free. Of course they offer that stuff. All lawyers do that. But will they promise not to take more money than you at the end of your case? No. When you call me, that answer's yes. I'll never take more money than you, and I put it in writing.
Call 728-5500 or go to paulpowell.com.
I really can help.
Paul Powell. More lawyer, less fee.
Some restrictions apply.
This sports update is brought to you by Dollar Loan Center. Get up to $5,000 in minutes at Dollar Loan Center. Free to apply, and new customers enjoy 1 week of free interest on their first loan. Visit don'tbebroke.com.
The Aviators host the Reno Aces tonight at 7:05. It is $2 beer night at the Las Vegas ballpark. And the UNLV Lady Rebels will open their season against USC in the Hall of Fame Women's Showcase on November 2nd. That's a Monday at T-Mobile Arena.
Listen to Cofield and Company weekday afternoons at 3 on ESPN Las Vegas. It's Cofield and Company on ESPN Las Vegas and ESPN Reno.
Stanley Cup final game number 2 coming up. Puck drop in less than an hour over on Fox Sports Las Vegas. 94.7 FM and 1340 AM. If you want to bet the game, William Hill, you can not only bet the hockey for game 2, they've got great parlay boost. Tonight, Eichel plus Dorofeev plus Marner goal is 19-1. Game 2 NBA Finals odds are up. The series at William Hill is Knicks minus 155. They got multiple specials there and prop plays. If you want to go over on 4 guys, in terms of points, Brunson plus Wemby plus Cat plus Castle, 11-1. And you can bet the Belmont coming up this weekend at Saratoga. And then next week, William Hill gets ready for the World Cup with their Summer of Soccer series with same match parlays and special boosts for each match. For more information, go to williamhill.us. I got to finish up on what we were just talking about during the break. Ray Brewer's in studio, Las Vegas Sun. What's up, Ray?
How are you, sir?
I'm good.
Looking at my my Vegas.
Wait, did you go right to the bets?
Well, I got. Can I tell you what I have tonight?
Yeah,
I've got Cole Smith plus 1,100 anytime goal scorer.
Okay.
I
like it.
If it comes in, it's $55. That's
I thought you were going to say I could retire or something. Don't give the amount of money. You got some action.
Yeah.
What do you want to do? We were just talking about a little bit about Myles Garrett to the Rams. Seahawks and Niners have to be very aware of what's going on. They already were. William Hill odds, Rams plus 110 to win the West. Seahawks 220, Niners 3-1, Cardinals 90-1.
90 on the Cardinals?
90-1 for a division.
Yeah, you're still missing a 0.
That's okay.
It just,
what do you think the Rams?
Yeah.
What do you think a Rams deal does for that division and for the Rams?
so to win in the NFL, you need to have a pass rush in the fourth quarter. And Myles Garrett is arguably the best pass rusher in the NFL. I don't love how the Rams are. It feels like they're one ankle roll away from being like a 500 team, right? Nakua is always injured. Love the guy, Vegas kid, right? Matthew Stafford is in his 40s.
Well, the last 2 years, back issues in the preseason.
Correct.
That's my biggest worry.
Yeah, we didn't even think he was going to play, right? Are you all in on Kyron Williams at running back? Are you all in on that offensive line?
I'm in on Kyron Williams and the combo, right? They have Blake Corum.
Yeah, Corum. Yeah,
so they have a good backup.
I think are solid.
But the O-line's a concern.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. With the Chiefs, with the Rams, and the Chiefs aren't necessarily F them picks, but they're big on collecting stars.
No.
With the Rams, what they rely on is in Kansas City, their GM and personnel people to freaking nail it and develop depth. In LA, they believe in less need. The pressure's on the GM. When you spend them, listen, we have the situation here with VGK. If VGK is an F them picks, collect the stars, but then you watch in the Stanley Cup and you're like, wait, Brett Haddon had 12 goals all season. He's got 11 in the postseason. So good organizations, you're right. They're walking a very fine line. Very fine line, but they believe in their personnel judgment.
90-1.
Cardinals.
That's
Please don't do that lottery ticket.
Yeah, there's better lottery tickets this year.
If this Cole Smith thing comes in tonight, could I parlay?
Do it. Yeah, there we go. 55-1 and then 90-1.
How about go rookie of the year, Love?
For Jeremiah?
Yeah. Rookie of the year. You can do that. Offensive
You're
rookie of the
telling me
year.
there's
Or you can play, or you can predict he's going to rush for 3,300 yards, the all-time record, and they're going to win 13 games.
Well, I will say with the Cardinals, and this kind of just shows the difference between what's going on in that division and where Arizona is in comparison to everyone else. Rams trade for Myles Garrett this week. Cardinals, and I like Jacoby Brissett.
They're still fighting over this.
But they're still haggling over the contract with Jacoby Brissett.
Over Jacoby Brissett.
Yeah, it's not where you want to be.
So we just mentioned, and the Niners are going to get out from under this, but it's been a royal pain in the ass, and they wasted a lot of money on Brandon Ayuk, Reno guy. Having trouble getting back on the field, his own doing. Unfortunate that he got injured, but has not managed it well, and then he's getting traffic tickets because he's videoing himself speeding at 110 miles an hour. We have a story out of Desert Pines, a tight end, who was dubbed like the man-child freak. This is a tremendous story that he has now just landed. 21 mil guaranteed and 42 mil overall.
And Darnell Washington, if you know the story, we're talking a kid that was living on sofas, homeless teen, started his career at basic high school as a 9th grader, got over to Desert Pines. And Desert Pines does a great job of elevating athletes and taking care of them socially. And the kid thrived in football and basketball. And it's weird. You look at the AP story, Darnell Washington signs this great contract, and you look at his stats. He had a breakout year. He had like 32 receptions for 300 yards and 2 touchdowns. But he's like the highest paid blocking tight end in football.
Well, I still think he has upside to be a guy who can pass catch a little more. Mike McCarthy is going to bring a little different offensive look there. But can I build on what you were saying about sleeping on couches and starting at basic? This could have all gone the wrong way.
Absolutely.
It's such a cool success story.
And it's a testament. I remember signing day, his senior year, they had a little event at Desert Pines, and Tony Fields, who was like all UFL. He was with the Browns and then the Rams, and he was with Columbus Aviators at the UFL. His dad got up there and he said, "Hey, it takes a village." And we found our village at Desert Pines. And that just, it really kind of struck a chord with me, because that program's dealt with, kids dying, forget about tough losses. When you think about life, right? They've had kids be shot and killed. They've had kids take their own lives. And to find a kid like Darnell Washington, who was just this like big, gigantic body, married the girl that he was with in high school. They had a baby when he was in high school. He just announced on Instagram that they're having their 4th child, bought a house in Arizona. It's like, what a great rags to riches story of a kid that took his big body. And remember, he was coming in out of the draft. People were worried about his legs, and look at him now.
All right. Opposite end of the spectrum, little guy, but dynamic speed in Zachariah Branch, drafted by the Falcons. We should mention this nonsense that happened in Athens where he got arrested. He was being charged with, when you read the report, it was basically crowd control. And the former Las Vegas high school star, the officer said, when I asked him to move, he smirked. He smirked and got arrested. Well, the charges are being dropped. I don't know if he's going to file a complaint. I don't know. But this is another guy we need to root for because, first of all, diminutive. Yeah. He bounced from what?
USC
to Georgia.
Mm-hmm. So he played at Gorman, and it's tough to get on the field at Gorman, right? So you got to be really good to play. And then he played as a freshman. And, early season, August, 105 degrees on the turf, make it 125.
Yeah.
And he's back there returning kicks and punts against like John Bosco in modern day. His first game, he takes one to the house, and everybody's like, wow, look at that. Yeah. And it wasn't against like Clark High School. It was against one of these out-of-state nationally ranked teams. And the speed, I interviewed him after the game, and I talked to him, Bubba, fast forward senior year. I said, hey, do you remember that interview I did after your freshman at that game? He goes, oh, yeah, I remembered that. So real cool. he's got to be one of the top 15 fastest guys in the NFL. If we were just putting track shoes on and saying go, and that says a lot. Pretty good talent here in Vegas, right?
Yeah. I hope they find a way to use him. Stefanski's in. They got a quarterback battle going down. Well, you know what? Tua can throw it short. So if they, Tua worked well with. I mean, there were some deep shots too to Tyreek Hill, but catch and go, Tua can do that if he can stay upright.
Dink and dunk.
Right? Get the ball in the kid's hands. Okay, homecoming. Another former prep guy. Give us a background on Sebastian Mack, because he was a Chicago kid and then came here and was what? Durango and then Coronado?
Durango, Coronado, UCLA, 13 points a game as a freshman. Petered off a little bit as a sophomore. Got recruited over. Portaled to Missouri. Was a big get for Missouri.
Yeah.
And that's what I hate about the portal is sometimes you get there and you realize it's not what you thought it was going to be.
Yep.
And the X and the Y's don't align together. Yeah. And that is a perfect case study of what happened at Missouri. He just didn't fit in there. I think this is a great get for UNLV. We had talked 2 weeks ago about I'm okay with them loading up on guards because you've got to have 5-6 people that could play. You've got to have some depth. Guards, experienced guards win you games, especially in February and March. And UNLV, I mean, this is a huge get, in my opinion.
Again, like you said, it just didn't work at Mizzou. And again, Gates has been very active in the portal through the first few years of the portal really being a thing. And again, he's probably got about a 60%, 55% hit rate. Mac was just one of the guys who didn't work there. And I think it is a perfect fit for him. Comes home, like you said, was freshman year, was really good scorer, and not a ton of minutes either at UCLA. But again, this is what goes back to what we talked about when Tyron Jones was the building block. He was the one who stayed. And and when you have a big guy like that, you want to surround him with as many talented guards as possible. This is just another talented guard that Pastner's been able to pick up.
Let me ask you this, Steve, because I thought as Isaac Williamson at the back 10 games of last season was really good for UNLV, and they retained him. Do you worry that he's not going to get as much minutes to continue to develop with the guys they've brought in?
No, because I think they're going to go a lot of 3 guard depending on matchups. And they're actually going to have times where they're playing 3 small guards if they can get away with it, and they're just going to try to, outpace people. Frankly, Isaac is not a point guard. So if he's the 5th point guard now, I think that's a really good thing. He's a scorer. He's just a small 6'1" guy who can score. So I think him free to run the wing, the baseline, and be a scorer. Now, I love what they've done. We'll go through the roster when we come back, but they've got upwards, depending on who you consider a guard. They've got 7 guards on the roster, and you and I did mention it a couple weeks ago. Josh Pastner went through a year where he's like, I don't have any guards. Like Howie Fleming's got to play guard. I was planning on playing him as a 3-4. He's got to play guard. I'm getting guard. So now the last couple of steps here, go out and get some bigs, and I think they put together a nice group.
Looking for your next adventure on the road? Findlay Toyota has you covered. With an unbeatable selection of brand new Toyotas, you'll find the perfect ride to fit your lifestyle and your budget. Whether it's the rugged Tacoma, the adventurous RAV4, or the powerful Tundra, at Findlay Toyota, we make financing easy and stress-free, no matter your credit situation. Findlay Toyota, driven to excellence. At the Valley Auto Mall in Henderson or online at FindlayToyota.com.
An evening with Third Eye Blind. Third Eye Blind, live in concert. Playing a career full band electric set live at Pearl Concert Theater at Palms Casino Resort, Saturday, June 6th. Get tickets now at AXS.com. For more, visit ThirdEyeBlind.com.
Beat the heat with some cool cash for betting sports on the William Hill mobile app. With the William Hill Cash Rewards program, you can earn up to $500 in cash. Earn summer rewards points for mobile wagers made until August 31st. Win or lose. You can earn even more rewards points for teasers, parlays, and same-game parlays. Sign up for the William Hill mobile app today and opt in to enroll in summer rewards. To see participating locations, visit williamhill.us. Must be 21. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-522-4700.
An accident isn't just an accident. It's lost time, lost wages, and a fight you didn't choose. That's where we come in. At DeCastroverde Law, we deliver serious firepower for serious injuries. We fight to make things right. When you're injured, the choice is clear. We're the DeCastroverde Brothers, and we have your back. Together, we win.
BrothersWin.com.
At DeCastroverde Law, the brothers have your back. BrothersWin.com.
Great rates with Create. Let your money elevate. Every swipe, every day. Watch it grow while you wait. Great rates with Create. Turn a little into great. Feels good, feels safe. Great rates with Create. Great rates with Create. Let your money elevate. Every swipe, every day.
Visit createcu.org today and learn about the great rates at Create Credit Union. Funds privately insured by American Share Insurance.
Great rates with Create.
A bean and cheese burrito for $1. In this economy? Hell yeah. Del Taco's new Get a Lot for What You've Got value menu has over 10 items, like the value bean and cheese burrito with red or green sauce for, you guessed it, $1. Del Taco is winning the value game with some of your favorite items, like the snack taco, mini shakes, and the $1 value bean and cheese burrito. Did we mention it was just $1? I know, we can't believe it either. Get to Del Taco today. Hell yeah. Price and participation may vary.
It's Cofield and Company on ESPN Las Vegas and ESPN Reno.
All right, VK, game number 2 in the Stanley Cup Final. Golden Knights in Raleigh. Ray, you're very proud of the state of Nevada, but more importantly, Ray Brewer's with us, Las Vegas Sun. More importantly, Vegas. And the other day, I started in on Raleigh because I saw a couple things. They're taking shots at us. And I told everyone, I was like, don't punch down. And then I can't take my own advice because I have no discipline. None. You saw it, right? I mean, come on. Raleigh, really? Just have your hockey team. Enjoy it. You made the Stanley Cup. Maybe you beat VGK. Don't start taking shots at Vegas.
It's just, it was nonsensical. Let's just go with that. It was nonsensical.
Where are you on Raleigh, a city that we never cared before 4 days ago?
So, you know my thoughts on Reno.
We are on ESPN Reno. So this is an outlier, right? Actually, Ray represents a lot of people here. We know the rivalry.
I've got a friend that lives in Reno, and he messaged me that he heard me on the show.
Good.
So shout out to my friend.
So now you're going to hold back on your Reno criticism.
No, I mean I think
that's not going to happen.
That's well out there. But I find it funny, and I'm glad that the two cities are trying to develop some kind of like disdain for each other, because game 1 2 nights ago, or whatever, Monday night was Tuesday night was back and forth, excited.
It's great.
It's great hockey.
I love that they put up on the board the graphic of like all of North America hates VGK. Good. Bring it.
Yeah. So let's get this to 7 games. Let's have a historically great Stanley Cup final. It just adds. Vegas, you may dislike what the Golden Knights are doing, but the truth of the matter is, and you touched on it a little bit earlier, Vegas is going to build its team with veterans to win immediately, and they're going to flaunt that we have no state tax here, and we could pay you more than you could get anywhere else. And I just, how spoiled are we? 3 times in the final in 9 years. Like, I'm a Pirates baseball fan. We haven't been to the playoffs 3 times in 30 years.
We are spoiled as hockey fans. But here's the thing. People don't realize what a sports market this is in terms of history. We absolutely know what it looks like when things aren't managed the right way. So, like, Mark Davis mostly manages the Aces the right way. The Raiders have not been managed well. UNLV, up until the last 4 years, had management issues. Foley comes in, gets the guys in place, they're managed correctly. You see what it's like when the top down has it right. And when they don't, we know what it looks like.
It's a fire drill.
It's frustrating.
And you see the merits of a team like the Golden Knights when they play well, what it brings to the city in terms of, I don't know you, but you're rooting for the same team I'm rooting for.
Mm-hmm.
And all of a sudden now we're cheering for each other.
There's a community that we used to have with UNLV basketball.
Absolutely, Steve. Absolutely.
That maybe we'll have with the Raiders. I think the NFL is going to be a little tougher. They have to win. I'm going to make the bold prediction because I saw Chris Chapman chimed in a couple days ago. Chris used to work here as part of VGK coverage over on Fox Sports Las Vegas. He said, you know what, I can't take what's going on politically, so I'm getting out of here. So he moved to Japan. So he's in Japan. So he made a comment the other day about no one is like the Vegas Golden Knights, and he included the A's in there. I'm telling you, if the A's win, and it's a lot of these homegrown guys who are coming up with the team, baseball is massive here. You know that.
Dude, first of all, and I wrote about this in today's Las Vegas Weekly, but there's something about the A's that turns me on. I don't know what it is.
Look at this.
But it's like,
look at this. Yeah.
I use this anecdote. I'm in downtown Summerlin and I'm walking by the sporting goods store and I see that sexy Kelly green and yellow hat.
Great color scheme.
Look at this.
And I felt like I was cheating on my wife because you know how much
fan.
I love the Pirates. I mean, we've been down a long, rocky road.
Why can't the Pirates owner, ready for this one?
Yeah.
We have to take a break. Why can't the Pirates owner act like John Fisher? Wait a second. Who thought we would say that? But they have turned the corner. They're winning. They're building it the right way. The stadium that was never going to be built, it's being built.
Summer just got a whole lot more rewarding at Terrible's. During our 100 days of summer, we're dropping new deals every single day. At Terrible's, the calendar is stacked. Free products, buy one, get one offers, and 50 cents off each gallon of gas every day. What are you waiting for? The only way to find out is to download the Terrible's Plus Rewards app and earn daily rewards all summer long. 100 days of summer at Terrible's. Something new every day, everywhere. Visit Terrible's.com for details.
Hey Nevada, this is Xenophon Peters and Judah Zakalik, founding partners at Panda Law.
We're proud to be voted Nevada's best debt relief law firm, helping people tackle credit cards, personal loans, medical bills, and business debt.
If you've been struggling with more than $50,000 in debt, you might feel like bankruptcy is your only choice.
But that's not always true. At Panda, we've helped thousands of clients restructure or reduce their debt without filing bankruptcy.
Our team will review your situation, explain all your options, and create a personalized plan to get you back on track.
Imagine the relief of getting that debt under control, saving money each month, restoring your credit score, and finally having peace of mind.
Call Panda Law today or visit us online to learn how we can help you find the debt relief you deserve without bankruptcy.
That's Panda Law. Call today for a free consultation and start your journey to a bright financial future.
Call Panda Law, 702-818-3888.
Good morning.
Vegas is built on service.
Studio lights on, please.
3 shifts a day.
All right, let's do this.
As your morning begins,
It's showtime. We have a lot to talk about live on the program for the next 3 hours.
to do our part, News 3 Today delivers Las Vegas stories that shape your community.
Just in some breaking news on the economic front.
So, whether it's late breaking,
News.
bumper to bumper,
Avoid using flamingo.
or clearing skies,
No showers anticipated.
it's News 3 Today.
At Land Rover Henderson, we make luxury service simple. We offer same-day appointments, complimentary loaner vehicles, and concierge-level care designed around your schedule because time matters. Our experienced team is here to keep you moving with the attention and professionalism you would expect from Land Rover. With a 4.8-star Google rating, local drivers trust Land Rover Henderson for a premium service experience. Come see us at Land Rover Henderson in the Valley Auto Mall, driving excellence, delivering dreams.
Sign up today for a new William Hill Nevada mobile sports account, and you can earn up to a $250 bonus bet after placing your first qualifying wager. The William Hill Nevada mobile sports app allows you to bet on the go from any iPhone, iPad, or Android device from anywhere in Nevada. Sign up today and you will never miss another bet. With the largest wagering menu, the mobile sports app features same-game parlays, early cash out, and live in-play wagering on all major sports. For more information, official rules, and to see participating sign-up locations, visit williamhill.us. Must be 21. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Hey, it's JT. Grimaldi's is hands down my favorite pizza in Vegas. Only at Grimaldi's can you get their famous New York-style coal-fire brick oven pizza. Grimaldi's has 4 locations in the Vegas Valley, or check them out online at grimaldispizzeria.com.
Gambler's bonus hits again. On April 26th, Deborah hit 4 fours, clearing her Gambler's bonus 4-of-a-kind bingo card for over $14,000. Deborah hit big, and so can you with Gambler's bonus. It's why you play the game.
The Rich Eisen Show.
General manager of the Los Angeles Rams, Les Snead, is here. At what point are we calling Aaron Donald to kick a tire?
I do think for the first time, he's maybe tempted that, let's maybe do one last stand. I don't know if he's been tempted since he has been retired. He's one of those humans that if he doesn't think he can really, really help, he probably doesn't want to try. But for the first time, I'm betting that he's tempted.
It's the Rich Eisen Show, weekdays at 9, here on ESPN Las Vegas. It's Cofield and Company on ESPN Las Vegas and ESPN Reno.
Ray Brewer in studio, Jeff Parles. This hour is brought to you by Battleborn Injury Lawyer. 766-1400 is the number. You got to dial 775-766-1400 in the north. That is a call from anywhere in the state of Nevada number. High energy today with Ray Brewer. That's why we like to have him in on these Thursdays from the Las Vegas Sun. Jeff Parles, Ray just admitted he's ready. He's ready to flip. Are you buying this? From the Pirates to the A's. He said the A's turn him on.
So here's what I'll say, because it's a little different for you because your favorite team's in the American League. And even though your team hasn't won since 2009, your team has had
Yankees fan, it's kind of hard to flip to the A's.
A lot more success than either of our two teams.
I'll be back in a second. You guys keep going.
But Ray, I'm a Mets fan. So I have the 2 mediocre New York teams. I agree with Cofield on the Jets thing. So what I've decided with my wife is we're going to have an American League team, which is the A's, and I'm going to keep the Mets. And I don't have an issue if you do something in that. I don't even have an issue if you flip completely. If you go to the, especially since, it's going to be very convenient to go to these games here.
There's something romantic about baseball where it's the summer and you take your kid and you throw the ball and, it's a relaxed time because you're not going to practices and schools. And you just look at how hard the A's play.
Gritty gutty.
And then you drive by that stadium and darn, it looks good.
It looks good.
It looks so nice.
Gosh, and if you love
New York out there with the skyline, someone else's skyline with our skyline.
When I was flying back in about 10 days ago, that was the one thing that I actually caught from the plane, because we had the great view at the right side of the plane. And it was like, whoa, they're really far along and it looks really good. And I can't wait for it to be finished soon.
Let's complete this. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's just complete this here.
What do we
Ray.
got? Oh, whoa.
Are you ready?
Look at this.
Here we go. You're a slim XL.
Yeah.
Here's an A's jersey. Brand new A's jersey, white one. Let's make a deal. Stevie Hall, Monty Hall.
Are you gifting me this?
You can have an AL team. I'm not going to ask you to drop the Pirates, but there it is. Will he accept it? He's looking at it. He might sniff it. It is an XL.
What's the catch? I see
There's no catch.
I see the price tag.
There's no catch. There's no catch.
I would need my Golden Knight guy to score like twice.
There's no catch. There's no catch. It's the least I can do for you. You've now signed a 5-year contract to come in every other Thursday.
All right,
So there you go. You get a $115 jersey for now. 140 appearances. I'm kidding on that part. But
now
A's jersey. There you go.
Thank you.
You're in.
Now I've got to get on the Steve Cofield gym plan.
Yeah, sure you do.
Get into
Let me see. If I
XL
can,
Slim.
Do you need it? If you try it on after the show, but if you need a double X, we can work on that one.
Okay, I might have to take you up on
Ray is all about Vegas, and Ray is all about chaparral. How about what just happened, Jeff, with UNLV baseball? Look at this guy beaming. Another proud Shap product running the program.
Nick the Kick, baby. UNLV baseball. You talk about loving Vegas. This guy loves Las Vegas. And the only way to build college programs is through getting money to pay for kids to play. Nick Hurtano's a fundraiser. He knows people people like Nick the Kick. He's very personable. He, kicker on that 94 Las Vegas Bowl team, built a dynasty. Think about it. 19 years at CSN, fundraising by himself to keep this thing up and running, right? JC Athletics, you got to reuse baseballs from 3 years ago. And he loves UNLV. He's going to do a great job at UNLV. This is a perfect fit. He fits financially for what the university could pay. And we play great baseball here. At one point, we had 3 teams nationally ranked, high school teams this year. And he's going to go in and he's going to get those guys to come play for the Rebels. I've always said to myself, how come we can't get to forget about, I always said when Coach Chambers got the job, why hasn't UNLV been to a College World Series? Now I'm like, why can't we get to the tournament? Like, can we not get to? So,
but you do think it's realistic now that he can take this program to a point where they're consistently in the NCAA tournament? I mean, listen, USA. The fact that Air Force, they're kicking the crap out of UNLV sometimes.
It was 20-2 the last game of the league tournament. Nick Garitano, very disciplined, very structured. Players love him. Great infield coach. His teams aren't going to kick the ball around, but you got to have arms. And are you going to be able to get some arms? Are you going to be able to have a guy that goes out there on Friday night? Are you going to have Eric Fetty that could go out there on Friday night? If you look at like some of these outlier teams that have made, San Diego State had Strasburg, right? Friday night, shut down, right? Air Force had Skeens for a little bit.
They did. Amazing. Right? Amazing story.
Yeah. And, UNLV had Fetty. New Mexico always has played great baseball. So who's going to come take the ball and give you 7 solid, right? Because, the ball's going to travel a little bit in the Mountain West too, right? And, Grand Canyon, by the way.
Can we take the Cofield and Company crew, including you, and get out to the baseball field with Nick the Kick and take some ground balls? How do you think the staff would do? Do we play softball together?
We did briefly. Okay. I have always been a very adequate fielder, even when I played Little League.
Just go ahead and say it. You're a DH?
I can't hit to save my life.
Oh, really? So you're a better fielder.
In softball, okay, I cannot.
Well, I didn't suggest hitting. It's not a home run derby.
But I think I could field, but I don't think I could field third.
Well, we can tell him not to hit like rockets at us.
Yeah, but like
shortstop, you can circle it a little bit. Second base, short throw.
Short, yeah. I don't exactly. I work with a guy who plays adult softball, and his team actually won the World Series.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And he's one of these guys that, they all got the goatee. And they could just go out there, and I've never – you need to hit the ball into the left center. I'm going to hit it in the left center.
Line drives. Those are my favorite. Not that I played in these leagues, but those are my favorite thing about softball is obviously the home run limited leagues where like you cannot hit home runs. So you have to hit frozen ropes all over the field, and somehow they do it. Yeah. Amazing. But I'm not even asking for that. Let's go out and field some ground balls. Adam Hill and I discussed this about 2 weeks ago because we were feeling baseball over at LV Ballpark. And then as soon as I started talking about it, I'm like, we're overstepping here. I don't know.
Are we wearing a cup? Because that's what I'm
Oh, that was the first part of the discussion.
Okay.
Yeah, I forget who I think there was a pitcher recently on the Reds. Maybe it was Chase Burns. I think a pitcher got popped in the pills, and Terry Francona is like, I don't leave home without a cup. Are you insane?
Yeah. I do
wear a cup.
That soundbite.
That's great.
No, it is, yeah.
Believe me, I haven't been hitting popped in the pills in forever. I don't want it now.
Absolutely not. That was
I'm wearing a shield.
Right when you said that, I'm thinking
first thing you're like, I got to hit a cup.
Yeah, they're gonna put me at third. It's gonna be coming in hot and heavy. And I don't know if you saw the video they had on UNLV baseball had a little video of Nick talking to people on Twitter, and obviously he needed to bring some energy, lacked a little energy, but he's like, yeah, we'll see you out here at the Earl. Did you know they called Early Wilson Stadium the Earl?
I do know that because of Neverett. Matt Neverett calls the games every once in a while. He'll mention the Earl.
Okay.
Okay, high school football. We got to mention a couple of notes. Jeff Parles, Ray Brewer, Cofield. Jeff, of course, check that. Ray, of course, from the Las Vegas Sun. Do we have quarterback movement into the market? Did Gorman get a quarterback and so did Centennial from outside the state?
Correct. So Gorman got a 3-star quarterback from Orange County, Chance Thomas, KU commit, senior.
All right.
And mind you, they already got a sophomore who's really good.
And
an Ace
Amina.
Amina,
So-
the brother
So
of.
his brother's a linebacker coach for UNLV.
Correct. And then Centennial got a kid named Blake Nadler, another 3-star. And Centennial's also got 2 kids that are committed, homegrown kids that are committed to Minnesota. How about that?
Strong reaction from the local community on both, like,
So-
bringing guys from the outside.
So that's the deal. The Thomas kid going to Gorman infuriated everybody, right? And of course, Gorman's ability to attract players is one of the reasons why CCSD schools pulled out of the NIAA, because they wanted to be regulated. So I couldn't figure out why people were criticizing the Thomas kid for moving in and not criticizing the Centennial kid for moving in. And people will say, oh, you're a Gorman homer, yada, yada, yada. Gorman's a bigger habitual sinner. And my biggest problem with high school sports, and kids are moving all over now, right? And they're even taking to social media to put up these messages like they're transferring. So the NIL portals made its way down to high school, right? But what if you got a job at that radio station in Denver, right? Is your kid forbidden from playing high school football because his father got a better job? Or if you're a surgeon, right? And you've got a son who's a 6'3" basketball player. Or Mullen's kid came to town, right? He's a basketball player.
Yeah.
Is Mullen's kid not able to play high school basketball because he got the UNLV job? I mean, how do we regulate that? What rule do you have in place? Are you beholden to the first school you go to?
Jeff Parles, Ray Brewer. I didn't see you guys connect visually. Did you see the shirt?
I saw the Chelsea shirt.
Okay.
I'm a Liverpool man.
We got soccer guys here.
Yeah.
We got soccer guys. We got World Cup coming up.
No, I will say this shirt, because when I bought this shirt a few months ago when I was in London, the shirt did not fit. The shirt now fits. So
You've
this
dropped
is
some LBS.
This is a big deal as well.
All right.
Also, we took a tour of Stamford Bridge while we were there, and our tour guide was exactly what you would have expected. He was unbelievable. Hated Barcelona, hated the La Liga teams because they, quote, cheated more than anyone else.
All right. You didn't mention the hand of God from Maradona, 86.
No, I didn't.
Mexico City. Against
I
England.
did not do that to them. No.
Ray, how many World Cup games are you going to as a fan?
Well, I'm glad you bring this up.
Does the wife want to go to one? Because then you're in.
Well, we are going on a cruise that ports out of Vancouver.
Wait a second.
Oh,
wait a
Yeah.
second.
Oh.
I get a big problem here.
Wow,
So
the cruise.
I get the cruise at what I think
Must
is
be
a good
nice.
rate. I book it without telling her. Then I go to book the hotel because you don't want.
Oh no!
Oh, the hotels
and the hotels in Vancouver are like $700 a night. And I'm Googling around and I'm like, do they not have? Is it like cruise season? And then I see close to the stadium. It's on the day of a World Cup game, but it's Canada playing that day. And so I'm like, okay, well, I coached the Henderson Crush, my daughter's little U11.
We got a minute
team.
left, guys.
And I'm like, okay, well, I'll take the family to the World Cup. I don't care for nosebleeds. It's to do it. So I go on and look at tickets. Steve, it's like $6,000 for 4 tickets in the nosebleed. So I'm like, okay, well, I don't think I'm going to do that. I think maybe we'll just go around to where the World Cup is and take some, they'll have like carnivals outside.
Jeff's in. He's going.
Did you buy the tickets?
I am going to
yeah.
Switzerland against Bosnia at SoFi, probably on the same day that you were looking at Canada.
June 24th.
Okay, so I'm going a week before that, but
about 20 seconds.
But yeah, that was a whole thing with applying for tickets for everything, and it was I applied for 11 games. It was the only game I got,
and you paid for it,
and I did.
Are you taking your spouse?
I am.
Okay.
Yep.
Got to take the spouse.
Nope.
Got to take the better half. You have no choice. All right, Ray. Appreciate it. Las Vegas Sun, LasVegasSun.com. Ray Brewer 21 up on Twitter. Thanks for coming in studio. 5 o'clock hours on the way, and puck drop is less than 20 minutes away.
Try the turkey, bacon, and avocado at Port of Subs. Fresh, craveable, and loaded with flavor. Order now at portofsubs.com.
Slice fresh sandwiches, Port of Subs.
From the FIFA World Cup to competitive business environments, grand ambitions lead to game-changing achievements. At Bank of America, we're there to support businesses at every step, providing insights and expertise to help you gain an edge.
He shoots, he scores!
What would you like the power to do? Explore winning business solutions at BofA.com/gamechangers. Bank of America, official bank of the FIFA World Cup 2026.
Beat the heat with some cool cash for betting sports on the William Hill mobile app. With the William Hill Cash Rewards program, you can earn up to $500 in cash. Earn summer rewards points for mobile wagers made until August 31st. Win or lose. You can earn even more rewards points for teasers, parlays, and same-game parlays. Sign up for the William Hill mobile app today and opt in to enroll in summer rewards. To see participating locations, visit williamhill.us. Must be 21. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-522-4700.
We're hiring at A1 Garage Doors. No experience? No problem. We provide full training, a brand new van, top-of-the-line tools, a gas card, and steady jobs with weekly pay. This isn't just a job. It's a career with real growth, great pay, and job security. Our team members go from training to 6 figures, and we're ready to help you do the same. Don't wait. Apply now at a1garage.com/careers.
A1garage.com. A1 from day one.
The NBA Finals, Game 1 Wednesday, Game 2 on Friday, and on Monday the 8th, Game 3. Listen in starting at 5:30 on ESPN Radio, 100.9 FM and 1100 AM.
Brought to you by Paul Pata Law. It's not about the injury, it's about the recovery.
Listen to UNLV Sports right here on ESPN Las Vegas, 1100 AM and 100.9 FM, KWWN, Las Vegas. Live from the Findlay Toyota studio, you're listening to ESPN Las Vegas.
5 o'clock hour is here. If you're looking for a place to watch Stanley Cup game number 2, Cofield & Company spot is Jackson's Bar and Grill, Flamingo and Jones. Got the gaming bonuses with Pass the Puck and Slapshot. Get on over to this game or the home games, Jackson's Bar and Grill. They've been with us all year long, years and years and years of being a hockey bar, and the sound is on. So Jackson's Bar and Grill, good spot. Flamingo and Jones. James is here running the show in the Findlay Toyota Studios. It's Cofield. It's Jeff Parles. We really haven't reacted much to, because we got the hometown hockey deal going. We haven't reacted much to a really interesting Game 1 in the NBA Finals. Knicks pull off the upset on the road against the Spurs, and Jay Skapanak is a great voice on the NBA. You can see him as part of the Fearless crew with Jason Whitlock, and Jay is up here on this Thursday. What's up, Jay?
Steve, not much. Great to be here again with you. Appreciate you having me on again.
So I'm going to go on a tangent to start, which you should be used to with Whitlock, but I'm going to start with I'm not going to give out your number on the air. I wouldn't do that, but I see the area code. Are you in Pittsburgh? Are you a Pittsburgh guy?
So here's the thing. I actually have lived in Florida for about 8 years now, but born and raised in Pittsburgh, spent most of my life in the Pennsylvania area, went to Penn State for my college, lived in Philly for a little bit. My parents are still in Pittsburgh. I'm there maybe a month or two out of the year still. So, and I've never lost this number. It's been my cell phone number. It will be my cell phone number forever.
You're the rare guy who really loves the NBA, who probably keeps an eye on hockey because of the Pittsburgh background. We have really been building this case against everyone else hating on us here in Vegas and the Vegas Golden Knights. What do you think of Vegas and this build, and how frustrated the rest of the NHL is that they've come along so quickly in 9 years with 3 Stanley Cup finals?
Honestly, it is crazy. And yes, there is. I can feel the palpable hatred from other, entrenched hockey kind of networks or installations around the U.S. Obviously, my hometown Pittsburgh Penguins. Yes, we have the goalie. We had the goalie connection a few years ago, and it just seems like some guys, some areas, I feel like, Steve, just have all the luck, right? Like some just get there quicker than others, and then teams that had been installed for years and years just can't seem to win anymore moving forward. So yes, as a suffering Penguins fan, because it's been years now since we won an actual even series, and you guys have gone to now 3 finals in 9 years, like you said. Yeah, there's a little bit of hatred, definitely, at least from my market, and I'm pretty sure all over the NHL.
Jay, let's go to last night, and honestly, let's just go macro with the Knicks here, because they have built this around Jalen Brunson, who is obviously a very small guard, and historically speaking, small guards that really are not good defenders have those teams have problems winning championships. And so far, obviously, this Knick run through the playoffs has been dominant. They're 13-2 through their 15 games.
Yeah, and look, there's some background, some history of small guards being passable defensively, at least adding something. Like Allen Iverson, I think, led the league in steals a few times. But in terms of like on-ball defense, he certainly wasn't, like an elite defender specifically. And they had to do things in that 2000 run, that 2001 run that ultimately ended in the NBA Finals against the Lakers, Shaq and Kobe. Like, they surrounded him with other great defensive players. And that's pretty much the blueprint if you're going to get one of these undersized guys who probably aren't an elite defender anyway, but then factoring in their size, that really puts them behind the 8 ball. You just got to build, you got to put the right pieces around them and be able to somehow mask or hide them on the defensive end. Steph Curry is another example of that, obviously.
Jay Skapanek with us here on Cofield and Company, ESPN Las Vegas. The Scap Attack. You can see him up on YouTube. You can see him as part of the crew on Fearless. So I saw Whitlock trying to build the case. There's a lot of people are going to do, trying to smash Wemby for more than soft last night, basically calling him a pansy. What do you think? Do you agree with him that at 7'4", yeah, he's got the outside skills, but get your ass down on the block?
Wembanyama is an incomplete package right now, specifically offensively. I mean, we already see the impact defensively. He's led the NBA in blocks 3 straight years. Guys, he's been in the NBA for 3 years. Yeah. So the fact that he leads the NBA in blocks every single year, and mind you, he did that last year playing only 40-some games. So he is an elite floor riser defensively, maybe, on the trajectory to become one of the top 5 greatest or impactful defensive players we've ever seen, at least in the modern era. But offensively, still very raw, still very incomplete. And guys, ultimately, he's 22 years old. I think somewhat you can take him out of his offensive game to this point in his career still, which essentially looks like clogging the lane or putting bigger, heavier bodies on him, beating him down a little bit throughout the course of the game and giving him, the free reign on shooting those threes, which he's shown a penchant to do throughout his career, and he can make them. So sometimes he gets seduced into the ease of just accepting or settling for that outside shot. But obviously, yes, he's got to get in. He's got to get it going. He's got to get closer. Initiation touches down in the paint. And that's something that Mitch Johnson, the head coach of the Spurs, is going to have to kind of help him get into position better moving forward. I think that will be one of the adjustments that they're going to work on today before the start of Game 2 tomorrow night.
I think a lot of fans in the U.S. are kind of amazed by Wemby because he's such a unicorn. But is there a possibility that as time moves along, there's going to grow a healthy dislike of Wemby? 1, because he's 7'4", 2, because he's French, 3, because he plays a soft game, and 4, as Clay Travis's crew brought up over on Fox News website, they're claiming that Wemby hates America and was protesting last night during the national anthem because he had his arms crossed during the song.
Yeah, look, I saw the clip. It wasn't to me overtly, off-putting in any way. I didn't really read into it too much. Guys, that could be somewhat because of my infinite naivete with this topic at this stage, because I love sports and movies and stuff so much, I go out of my way to try to avoid the politicizing of it. I was of the shut up and dribble kind of crew before that was even before I think it was whoever, Megyn Kelly, I think, said it officially. But I want my actors to just shut up and act. I don't want them, to step on their soapboxes and pontificate in award ceremonies. And I don't want my athletes in press conferences before or after basketball or football games or whatever talking about politics. That's just me. So if I like a guy or like an actor or an athlete, I try to avoid their political takes because I know likely I will probably not agree with it. Wembanyama, though, strikes me as a guy who is somewhat apolitical. I looked up the clip of his ICE comments whenever, I was kind of thinking about this question. I looked those comments up. That his answer struck me kind of as a guy that was just answering a question that a reporter was probing him on. I don't think he necessarily has a political take or agenda at this point. Maybe that will change. But right now, at this stage of his career and his life, he strikes me as a guy totally obsessed with basketball. And that's why I kind of like Wembanyama, because he's a breath of fresh air from these pampered, highly paid prima donnas that we've seen in recent years. Wemby strikes me as just a true old school competitor that cares about nothing but winning and doing that at any cost. So right now, for now at least, I am Team Wembanyama.
It's interesting, Jay, because just going back to the basketball part of it for a second, where we watched last night, Karl Anthony Towns, there was no fear going at Wembanyama last night, unlike Holmgren in the last round, who was just might as close to urinating himself on the court as possible in that series against Wembanyama, especially by the end of it. But it's interesting because Towns is a guy who people, I think it's a mixed bag on why people like Cat or don't like Cat. I personally love him, but last night was the first time it's he's not scared of a guy who's going to probably block his shot a few times. And that was really the key to the whole game. That was when the game flipped last night, was when Towns really just started going at Wembanyama.
Yeah, Karl Anthony Towns is an infinitely talented guy. He was one of these blue chip recruit guys. He came into the NBA, obviously a very heralded entry from his collegiate time. Only one season, obviously, at Kentucky, but he's been flirting around elite status. He's been a perennial all-star. He's made several All-NBA teams. And Karl Anthony Towns, he's had success even before going to New York. He had success against Nikola Jokic 2 years ago in the NBA playoffs when they beat ultimately the Denver Nuggets when they were trying to defend their championship. And Cat, like you said, no fear last night. You could ultimately say he outplayed Wemby on both sides of the ball, because he has the body type, right? He has a more mature game too. So I ultimately like Karl Anthony Towns. I think he has to be in the right situation. I don't think he is the best player necessarily on a championship team, but he's a good 1B or a second best player, which I think he just fits perfectly in that role right now for New York.
What is your take to mention the point that Jeff made, and we're talking to the Scap attack, Jay Skapanek. What is your opinion of Chet Holmgren after that last series? Because I look at it and I'm like, this could be one of the worst deals ever signed by an NBA player. I mean, good for the player, but bad for the organization. At $240 million.
Yeah, you talk about a player urinating himself on the court. That is, you say it's as close as we could see. I'm not certain that he wasn't. He might have been wearing diapers actually in the later stages of that series. You hate to say an athlete, a professional athlete, or really an athlete at any level, just quits or is scared or doesn't want it. But that's undeniably my takeaway from watching Chet Holmgren in the later stages, basically that whole series, essentially anytime these guys play each other. So ultimately, look, if Holmgren is effective or upper echelon against every other team in the NBA other than the Spurs, that really doesn't help the Oklahoma City Thunder much, because they're going to have to go through the Spurs seemingly now every year over the next half decade at least to get to their ultimate goal. So look, if you have a guy eating a hole in your salary cap to the tune of $50 million a year, yeah, that puts you substantially behind the eight ball. And now their other guy who's about to hit max territory now as well, and that extension is going to kick in, Jalen Williams. He was all NBA last year. He missed 50-some games this year. So maybe that guy, you got an injury-prone situation moving forward. You have a urinary problem going on with Chet Holmgren then as well. That's $100 million that's eating a big hole in your cap. Yeah, that's a big problem. So now the alleged GOAT general manager, Sam Presti, who's pulling the trigger there in Oklahoma City, he's got to sit down now in a limited, condensed amount of time over the next 3 weeks and decide, hey, do we take a Hail Mary shot at Giannis Antetokounmpo? But that's a decision that's going to have to come rapid, like I said, before probably the draft, which is, I think, June 23rd or something like that.
Scap is with us. All right, back on game two. Spurs have some adjustments to make. First of all, Champagnie really sucked on defense. They got to find a way to either he can't be on the floor. He certainly cannot be matched up one-on-one really at all if it's Brunson.
Yeah, the dilemma with it is no one really shot well for the Spurs outside of Champagnie.
You're right.
So
yeah, he had 5 threes.
Exactly. So how do you? It's a give and take. Like, you need the offense on the floor because the Spurs they played relatively horribly offensively. Only 95 points, shot 36% overall from the field as a team, both lows in this entire playoff run. So you need his shot making, but again, at what cost? I think the answer likely is to get as many minutes for Harper off the bench as you can. That kid is a stud. He's obviously in the right mental space. He's a big shot maker as well. He attacks the rim probably, maybe as well as anybody on that team right now. So I think you get more minutes, as many as you can for Harper. And then ultimately, what the heck is going on with Keldon Johnson? Alleged Sixth Man of the Year award winner this year. What, 8 minutes and 3 points? I need to know more. Like, Mitch Johnson, what are you doing? Is he banged up? Is he hurt? Like, do you not like the matchup here for him? Because the Sixth Man of the Year award winner, in my estimation, needs to grab more than 8 minutes moving forward into game 2.
You know, it's funny, in my notes, I wrote down that Castle and Harper have to cut down on turnovers. Well, it turned out they played 61 minutes. They had 3 turnovers combined, which is good. The problem is, when I really focused on what was going on during that 9-0 run by the Knicks late, it was Harper and Castle who both had key turnovers. So did Wemby, trying to cross over from 35 feet out. That was my worry going into the series, that in key moments, especially the guards, there's too many times that Dylan Harper and especially Castle, they jump in the air and then they're trying to make crazy passes. They cannot make mistakes like that in what could be a really even series coming down to the wire in every game.
And that's been the concern with the Spurs every step of the playoff run, right? Just the youthful inexperience. Guys, when have we ever seen a young team that has never even had a playoff run together go from not making the postseason one year to winning the NBA championship the next season? It's never happened. Like, the youth and the inexperience on this team to be at this level is almost unparalleled in NBA history. That's why people have doubted them at every step of this run. And that's why there still is this doubt, surrounding them, because look, you would think the Thunder would have the advantage, obviously, being defending champions and stuff. They had a bunch of injuries. It was a bad matchup, but this Knicks team, all proven, seasoned veterans. They've had multiple playoff runs together. If these games come down to clutch time situations, massive advantage to the Knicks. And I mean, the guys you mentioned, Harper and Castle, 20 and 21 years old. Of course, these mistakes are gonna be there and be apparent at this stage of their career, I think. And it's going to be magnified, obviously, now that we're in the series where it's just a national spotlight game every single game. But I mean, they are uber talented. I still think, though, you're right to your point. If that is going to be their modus operandi down the stretch, they're probably not going to win this series.
Scap, let's go back to where we started before we close out here. And Scap Attack is with us, Jay Skapanak, as he's part of Jason Whitlock's Fearless crew, and then he's doing YouTube post-game pods and NBA pods that are hours and hours long with lots of feedback. It's really good stuff. We were talking about Jalen Brunson and we'll call it the reemergence of the little guy, and finding a way on a team to get away with having a guy on the floor who might not be great defensively. And Leon Rose and Mike Brown, I think, have done a really good job sort of hiding Brunson. They have a ton of 3-and-D guys. I'm going to draw the parallel to what's going on with the Indiana Fever, who I don't think know what they want to do with Caitlin Clark, but it's clear right now she can't play defense. She's a smallish guard. Can we make the comparison that the Fever kind of have to follow the Knicks model and buy into her offense and figure out a way to play better defense? But also, if you have a crappy defender as your fifth defender, you can't switch all 5 players as you're rolling through the defense. You can't switch all the time.
Correct. And yes, you can draw that analogy. And it's not just smallish guards. There's other players, like Nikola Jokic is another player that should have been schemed around and built around. Like, they should have done a much different direction of their team building around him, in my estimation. I mentioned Steph earlier. He's another guy that, look, he wasn't an elite defender. He was barely even an average defender in the peak of his kind of prime in their run. But every single year of the 4 championship runs that Golden State made, they were either the number 1 or number 2 net rated defense league-wide in the NBA that year, because they built teams, they got the personnel, and then they schemed around him. And he's a willing defender. He would fit into whatever cog or whatever place that they needed him to be. And that is the way that you kind of can hide if you have one guy. It can only be one. Same with Luka Doncic when they made their run, which ultimately ended in the NBA Finals against the Celtics. But He was a willing defender. They had 4 other elite defenders flanked around him, and he played his role effectively enough that they got through the West and got into the NBA Finals. Yes, of course, that's what the Fever should be doing with Caitlin Clark. I mean, she should be the face of the WNBA, right? Shouldn't her own team, therefore, be doing everything to maximize her ability and make her look the best and be in the best position to succeed? I mean, she's on the Nikola Jokic trajectory, where like Jokic is just now getting criticized and crushed after every single playoff outing because of his defensive inadequacies. Well, how about you just build a team like Jalen Brunson has around him, and then no one will be talking about those defensive inadequacies. So, yes, I think right now the Fever are failing Caitlin Clark in a major way.
Scap, good job. For the audience, you got anything coming up on YouTube and the show the next couple of days?
Well, I'll be on for a couple hours post-game tomorrow night following the game on Friday. Other than that, just putting out videos here or there throughout the remainder of the season. And then, guys, it's time for me to shift my focus to the NBA offseason, which is going to be absolutely lit this year. It's going to be crazy. And then I'll probably get into some NFL stuff as well. I'm big into the NFL as well.
Scap, great job, man. We appreciate the time. We'll talk to you.
My pleasure. Thanks for having me again, guys.
There he is, the Scap Attack. Scap Attack, SKAP Attack, up on Twitter. First on Caitlin Clark. What we've got here is a battle between, do you build a team around her and hide her defensively, or do you look at her as a young player who you've got to break? Because I think that's the Stephanie White approach and the assistant's approach and the organization's approach. She's going to play defense, and she's going to do what we want. Now, I don't know the right answer because I'm not around her all the time. Her defense is not good. Does that mean she'll never be able to play defense? It doesn't look like they believe that. They believe there's hope to turn her into a good defensive player. And Jeff, lots of coaches, when you are a one-way player and you're young, you're going to do what they want, and you can score all you want, but you ain't going to play if you can't play defense. Or does reality need to hit sooner than later where they're like, okay, we took a player who's a megastar for her scoring and her three-point shooting. How do we find a way to have 4, good defenders and then more good defenders off the bench, and we don't have to worry about her getting well? The problem in the most recent game was they just kept going at her and forcing a switch because they're switching 5, and then she was getting destroyed off the dribble.
I think it's just simple as, well, I think you have to look at the way that the Knicks have built things around Brunson, and even if it's getting like Anunoby, elite defender. Bridges, elite defender. Towns is not an elite defender, but he's played more than well enough defensively. Hard, high-end defender. Mitchell Robinson off the bench might be one of the best defensive centers in the NBA. So when I just mentioned all these very good defensive players, now it's interesting. The Fever, they have some very good defensive pieces, but again, the strategy, if you're gonna switch everything, they're gonna get whatever they want. Players are too good. The league is too good at this point in the WNBA. So I think it's a little bit of both. I think it's you have to build your roster to a point where it's, hey, our best player is not the best defender, but everyone else is a high-end defender. And you also have to have your best player who's not a good defender be better on defense, because Brunson has absolutely been better on defense this year, and honestly last year as well. So it's a little bit of both. It's a very interesting tug and pull.
June begins for Indiana at home against the Atlanta Dream,
which they're up 6 right now and midway through the third quarter,
which obviously also features newbie Angel Reese, who, by the way, isn't necessarily playing major minutes if she doesn't play well. Now, she had a really bad game a couple weeks ago against the Aces. She bounced back. Obviously, her rebounding is still top-notch. So, Caitlin Clark, and especially because there's so many Clark loyalists, and then there are Clark haters on social media, every game is crazy. I know everyone who listened to this show is not tuned into it, but if you pay attention to it, I've never seen anyone covered like this by that world, the message board world, essentially, and what happens around Caitlin Clark. Let's get back to something important you mentioned that we talked about with Scap. And that is, well, I'll first say, the NBA finals are awesome. And the playoffs in general are awesome, but the finals are awesome because We get a couple of days off to marinate. And this has always been the since it's really been covered, from the 80s on. We get a couple of days off. And man, we just did it, like overanalyze everything from one game. And we get storylines built up. And the Karl-Anthony Towns reaction yesterday and today has been amazing. He dominated Wemby on both ends of the floor. Wemby offensively going head to head against Karl-Anthony Towns was 2 of 14. So, of course, then you have the narrative like, Cat's going to kill Wemby in this series. Okay. Basketball, like a lot of sports, but basketball especially, is so much about adjustments from game to game. And that's why, from a betting standpoint, while there are lugheads and morons who overreact to every single game, what's one of the best betting principles in all of sports?
The zigzag.
The zigzag, because it's never as high or low as you see in a particular basketball game. But the other reason I like that Cat sort of reestablished himself for now, he's probably set himself up, is that this guy got so much hate last year. Like, a lot of the blame for the Knicks falling short was put on him. And then we get this whole thing with him being zesty, which, you know what, on this show, we speak honestly. If you're afraid to say it, that's on you. You're basically saying you think he's gay. And somehow that makes him weak, which I have no idea, because every once in a while he's like, hey, who cares? Judge him on his game. As Scap said, Jeff, he's been a superstar coming out of high school. At Kentucky, he was a freaking dynamo. He's been consistently a 2010 guy, super skilled guy. He can play mean. He can play big. He can block shots. He rebounds. This whole thing that gets labeled, players get labeled. I mean, I think we're trying a little too hard to be like, he's weak. Well, he didn't look weak last night.
No.
And like you said, listen, the reality is the guy's 7'4", 7'5". Cat's 6'10", 6'11". You're going to get blocked.
Sure.
But guess what? If you go into his body multiple times, and also if you drag him out to deep waters, you're going to beat him a lot. Now, I don't know if he can do that every game. But like, my question going into the series is like, who's going to cover Wemby? Because I was so stuck in what OKC was doing, because they don't really have a Cat, Karl-Anthony Towns. So they went small, and I was thinking, okay, they're going to go small too. Like, they don't need to go small. Especially not if Wemby on the other end is going to insist on catching the ball 30 feet from the basket, and then he's trying to cross over someone at 7'4". Like, what are we doing?
We've seen this with Wemby, though, in this postseason, though, where there would be select games where he was, I don't want to say disinterested, because that's not fair, but he was passive. He was passive last night. He was passive a few games in at Oklahoma City. The games they lost to Oklahoma City, he was passive. In the games he was not passive, he pantsed Oklahoma City. And I think also, too, in that last series, and I noticed this, and I was texting with a friend of mine who's a big NBA guy, and his job, he's covered a lot of these guys through high school, including Chet. Wembanyama, you could feel how much Victor Wembanyama despises Chet Holmgren. You could feel it that whole series.
You don't think it's there for this?
No, I didn't feel it last night one day.
After he got shamed last night, and people are burying him.
Maybe
you better get it.
Maybe we'll see it tomorrow night, and we probably will, because Wemby is. I mean, look, Wemby is the best player in the league. He's an unfinished product, which should scare the heck out of everybody that he's already the best player in the league in year 3. But you could feel it that whole 7-game series, that he just despised everything Chet Holmgren stood for. I didn't feel that 1 second last night.
Despised everything.
He despised him.
What does Holmgren stand for officially?
Look, I think Wemby. I
don't like you.
I just think Wemby does not like him. The two of them. I mean, there's the video on social media that was going around when they were playing in the U18s and the U.S. beat France in the final, and Holmgren won the MVP, and Wembanyama was beside himself the whole post game. And I'm sure, those great athletes, they remember everything. They remember everything.
This seems simplistic, but one, he's got to get in the lane more.
Yes.
He's got to use post up. They got to play offense through him.
Mm-hmm.
And if they're not throwing the ball down to him, I'm telling you, as good as the Knicks can be defensively at times, they will not be able to stay in front of Castle and Harper. Dylan Harper is going to be one of these guys you're going to see a couple of years from now and be like, what is going on with this guy and his penchant for destroying people off the dribble? There's something kind of sneaky and slow about his game and smooth where you don't think he's going to blow by you, and he gets by everyone he wants to get by. Well, if you have guys like that, then guess who needs to be planted on the edge of the lane, or, if you want to call it the dunker position. If those guys penetrate, and Castle, I think Castle can do it anytime he freaking wants.
Yeah.
Who should be on the receiving end when help defense comes up to cover the guard?
The 7'4" guy.
Right? Lob.
Yeah.
I mean, I know it sounds simplistic, but it is that simplistic when you have awesome guys off the dribble and the guy's 7'4".
Well, that's the other thing.
And then what do you do when the ball's up? You're late jumping, and then you're going to have to foul him. He got 13 free throws last night playing a perimeter game.
Yeah.
If he's down in the paint, he might shoot 25 free throws.
Yeah, very easily. And, it's interesting with the San Antonio team because they're so youthful. They're so youthful that, and I think I made this point off the air before the show, where it feels like this is the first of many for this group to get to the finals, right? First of many. Maybe the problem is that Oklahoma City is very well set up to be awesome for a long time as well. Those teams are probably going to go back and forth a half dozen times over the next 10 years. But this feels like the one time for the Knicks, right? This feels like you got there, you got to get it done here. And that makes it a little bit of a different feeling, especially after last night where it's like, whoa, I thought the Knicks were going to win the series in 6. I thought they were going to steal game 2, not game 1. They stole game 1. Win your 3 home games, you're champs, and there's no reason for me to back down from what I thought pre-series now.
We have the big charity softball game coming up on June 27th right here in Vegas. Another year of the Battle for Vegas. It's Team VGK against Team Raiders. Riley Smith and Brock Bowers heading up the teams. It's all for charity. You can get your tickets at Ticketmaster.com. It's at LV Ballpark on June 27th. We got a pair of tickets right now. James going to hook you up. Caller 736-41100. Tickets to go see Battle for Vegas.
Got something to say? Hit us up on the Bay Law text line, 702-364-1100. Brought to you by Bay Law Injury Attorneys. Winning is no accident.
This summer, skip the airport chaos and hit the road for the perfect family getaway in Cedar City. In just 3 hours, you'll trade the desert heat for cool mountain air. Breathtaking scenery and outdoor adventure everyone will love. From hiking and biking to fishing and stargazing, Cedar City delivers big fun without the big price tag. Ride the chairlift at Bryan Head Resort, catch a show at the Utah Shakespeare Festival, and explore nearby national parks. Start planning your summer escape today at visitcedarcity.com.
The Golden Circle Sports Bar inside Treasure Island Hotel and Casino is the best place to watch games on the Strip. There's a huge video wall and over 55 plus screens throughout the bar. Place your sports bets at the new STN Sportsbook. The menu with the Golden Circle Burger, the Linebacker Bison Burger, Philly Cheesesteak, the Polish Sausage, and so much more is dynamite. The Golden Circle Sports Bar's happy hour is amazing with $5 draft beers every day from 10 a to 6 p. Treasure Island, the Vegas destination for those seeking a contemporary resort experience with an ideal location on the Las Vegas Strip. And remember, parking is always free.
Hi, sports fans. It's The Herd. We're here to talk about Game Changers,